bigot.
That sucks.
Lesbian.
I like that in a woman.
And every other kind of deviant.
I love paying for sex.
This moral decay weakens our resistance to the onslaught of the communist masters of deceit.
We're a bunch of scumbags.
These abnormalities are corrupting the minds and the hearts of our children.
Jackass.
And yeah, we're back. Where have you been?
It's depressing and horrendous. It's awful.
A bunch of idiots.
Perversion for profit.
Here it comes! Here it comes!
The Opie and Anthony program.
El virus.
The Opie and Anthony.
God, that irritates me.
It's just like somebody took a bath to my brain.
We're the only radio show that makes you want to hate us.
Opie.
I want my coffee.
Anthony.
I want that back.
Jim Norton.
I want Ozzy.
We are going to dumb this thing down to the point that we're going to be #1 with Down syndrome children.
Hysterical.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Mom, please stop calling me.
I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Mom! I'm not alone. I have to do this now.
Do you want to kiss me? Can I kiss you on the mouth? Oh, fucking idiot.
You look like assholes right now, man. It's impossible. I'm trying to tell you that. What do you want? You want the tears to come out of my eyes? Call me sir, goddammit.
Hoo-ha!
You just mind your P's and Q's, Buster, and remember who you're dealing with.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
I'm in a goddamn hurry. I'm in a god. Thank you, nice lady. Nice ass.
Good morning. Wow. CONA virus spreading across America. Slowly but surely, thanks to XM Satellite Radio. Have you done your part to spread the virus today? Have you? Have you? Morning, Jimmy.
Hi.
Morning, Anthony.
Good morning. I'm just looking through the leftover instant feedback. I guess during the 6 o'clock hour, when we play our little stuff that we've culled from other shows, interspersed with humorous banter that we record after the program, that's new material that I don't think a lot of people know is out there. 6 o'clock, we replay some stuff, but in between, you get a little extra. And people seem to comment on it.
Yeah, sometimes updates on bits and stuff.
Some people seem to realize that it's new, and other people comment on the actual replay like it's really happening and try to talk to us, and there's no one here. Stupid.
You're talking to nobody.
You're talking to nobody.
You're talking to an empty room, and the computer's just on, showing your feedback.
No, if the browser ain't up, it ain't even showing
It's not even showing?
It's just going into a void somewhere.
But that's better?
I guess so. Yeah.
I think it's funnier that it's just an empty room with the lights off and the computer's on, and there's your feedback. But
that is pretty cool.
No
one there to read it.
No one here to read it.
How many things does that happen to online?
And then eventually there's enough feedbacks that come in that yours just gets buried and never read. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The big story today. God. Saddam Hussein on the cover of every single newspaper in America.
Every paper. Saddam Hussein.
The Dorito Bandito. The Chip-tator.
They always pick one thing and run with it.
His favorite things.
They probably gave him, like, Doritos once, and he liked them. You know, who wouldn't? You're in jail. You're awaiting war crimes charges. And they give you a bag of Doritos. That's like gold, you know? So you eat them, and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. And then someone goes, hey, Saddam likes those Doritos. Front page news around the world. The Chip-tator.
He loves his Doritos, they're saying. He eats them every day or almost every day. But he does a weird thing.
Yeah.
He soaks them down.
Yeah, he kind of puts water on them because he doesn't like them all crispy. Maybe he's got bad teeth. Maybe it hurts his little dictator choppers. His little Saddam teeth. Yeah, he wets them down.
Ew.
and he likes Raisin Bran Crunch, Opie. Likes that. You know, Saddam's got a nice log coming out every day.
Isn't that what Jimmy eats?
Yep.
Hey, there you go, Jimmy.
That's right. I was reading the Saddam Hussein story this morning thinking I'm reading Jim Norton's blog. He's very picky about his food and has to wash his hands, and he's very neat.
He washes his hands after he shakes hands with people.
Does he?
Yeah. He doesn't like that. He keeps his quarters very clean. Likes to feed the birds with crumbs from his previous meal.
He hates Fruit Loops.
Doesn't like Fruit Loops.
Oh.
I guess they asked him what kind of cereal. He goes, yeah, just no Fruit Loops. Doesn't like the Fruit Loops.
It's kind of weird, though. It's a bunch of young guys that were guarding him, and now they're back in the States, right?
Yeah, did a big interview.
It's a little strange. Someone questioned, why are, 20-year-old kids watching Saddam?
Mm-hmm.
And the Army obviously defending them and saying, look, they're trained to do that type of work.
Seems like they were softening up to the old guy a little bit. Like, they realize what their job is as soldiers. But I think if you put some older guys in there, they would have been a little more, I don't think they'd have softened up to him.
No.
Because these young guys kind of were looking at him toward the end of their tenure there like a grandfather or something, Kind of, he said he was a fun guy. Telling jokes, like very nice, cordial, and they would tell him little jokes, and he'd give them advice on love. And
well, one of the best is, there was a media blackout. Saddam wasn't really, allowed to watch any type of news whatsoever. Yeah. So these guys decided to fuck with Saddam a little bit, and they told him that Jesse Jackson's now the president of the United States.
Oh, no. Even he didn't believe that.
And I guess Saddam just started laughing really hard with the boys.
That's funny.
I know we're in a war, and this is an evil man, but, just looking at the human side of this, he's just like everybody else.
Like, Jesse Jackson, shut up.
Just starts laughing openly.
Who won the election? Jesse Jackson. Jackson. Stop it. I'd sooner be elected, you asshole.
Even with his broken English, he understood how silly that was.
No Fruit Loops. No Fruit Loops.
Oh, Fruit Loops. What the fuck?
Did you get confused? Did you mix up the word fruit and apes?
No. I was gonna say no Fruit Loops and then no Kool-Aid in the White House.
Oh,
but I just jumped in with no Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Because why have two different words? You can make them all one and wreck the joke.
You should just sit there and continue eating your breakfast.
Yeah. I really
what are you chiming in at 10 after?
I don't know.
10 after the hour, may I say? You never chime in.
Speaking of Fruit Loops, I'm loopy. All
right. Oh, Liddy. And you're fruity from your yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
What type of fruit is in that, Liddy? He's got to grab it.
Huh?
He's got to grab the lid.
Blueberry.
Oh, it's blueberry? That's great, Liddy. And do you have anything funny to say about blueberries?
They weren't blue, but they went on a date. Now.
Now.
He has to hold the lid and calm him down.
Oh, of course. Liddy gets very excited.
It's really uncomfortable to
God,
watch.
Liddy sucks.
The worst character on the show.
It stinks.
It really does, man. I hate Liddy.
Oh.
All right.
He was also telling these young soldiers that he looks upon them like sons.
Yeah, because he was telling them he has no family anymore. And
we blew up his kids, remember?
Yeah, and these guys would watch him 24 hours a day, and sometimes he would be in his cell crying, and then.
Aw, poor Saddam. I'm kind of feeling bad for him, like I felt about Adolf Hitler.
What?
What? I was watching the movie Downfall. Remember that? And
you best explain yourself.
Well, you kind of feel bad when Hitler's testing out the cyanide capsules that he'll be giving to his peeps to kill themselves before the Russians get there. And he kind of put it in the little German Shepherd's snout, his trusty dog, and crunched it down, and he got a little misty. I felt bad for the guy. He got the dog and, kind of a faithful dog, your companion.
You do know he killed a lot of people, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but, so did Saddam. But, you picture him in a cell and, his kids are dead, and maybe he thinks about it and weeps a little, eats his Doritos. You feel a little bad.
Eats his Raisin Bran Crunch.
Raisin Bran Crunch. No Fruit Loops.
And then other times they would walk by the cell and he'd be dancing and stuff.
Really?
And collecting crumbs so he could feed the birds or something.
Yeah, he feeds the birds.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of quotes from Saddam Hussein in his own words on American presidents, Anthony. Mm-hmm. Reagan and me, good.
Good together.
The Clinton, Cleeenton. The Clinton.
What is that?
The Clintons.
Oh, Clinton.
The Clinton, because he has broken English.
Yeah.
He's okay. The Bush father's son, no good.
No good. I love people with, minimal English.
No good.
Get right to the point. Yeah, Clinton, okay. You like Reagan. Reagan, good. Mm-hmm. Bush family, no good. Of course. What do you think he's going to think?
No good.
Both of them bombed him.
On Ronald Reagan, Anthony.
Yes.
I wish things were like when Ronald Reagan was still president.
So do I.
He was told that Reagan had died of Alzheimer's. Saddam went quiet, then said, yes, this happens.
All these dictators and stuff look back fondly at the good old days when he was a real iron-fisted dictator.
Well, you guys think in a way it was a sport.
And they look back because Reagan didn't give a shit about what he was doing. He had bigger fish to fry, as they say.
He went right after Iran.
The commies. Yeah, and Iran, which was Iraq's mortal enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could see how we would like Ronnie.
All right. On finding a wife, you got to find a good woman. Not too smart, not too dumb. Not too old, not too young.
Hey, look at that.
In the middle. One that can cook and clean.
Yep.
Saddam's
He's a smart
advice.
man.
On the man who ratted out the location of his spider hole, Anthony, Saddam has this to say, do you know Judas?
No.
Saddam compared himself to Jesus, a jailer said, by noting how Judas told on Jesus. That's how it was for me, said Saddam. If his Judas never said anything, Saddam said nobody ever would have found him.
Yeah, he's probably right. Someone ratted him out, found him in that ditch.
And then there's silly things. Home remedy for a pulled muscle.
A pulled muscle.
We were just talking about home remedies yesterday and how stupid this crap is. Jimmy claims a little toothpaste on a mosquito bite does the trick.
How'd it
Certainly
work?
Takes the itch right away.
It worked fine, right?
Yeah.
I think there's something in toothpaste that, burns. If you put... My brother used to play a gag on me and my sister. Mm-hmm. He'd say, take some Ultra Bright toothpaste, put it on your finger, and just rub it on your cheek. And you'd do it. You'd, rub the stripe down your cheek. And you go, well, why was I doing that? Well, just wait a minute. It would start burning so bad that you couldn't take it. And then you go, quick, rinse it off with water. And then you put water on it. It made it 10 times worse. It's like Fight Club. You got to put vinegar on it or something. So I guess toothpaste does something. Deadens the nerves so it doesn't feel the itch no more.
When I was a boy hanging out with my friend Marvin, and I hadn't wiped
Marvin Nash?
No, he was actually Puerto Rican and Jewish.
Oh.
And I had, you know what, wipe good enough when you're a kid, you get that itch, that rawness. I put Cloud Freshen Up toothpaste in between my cheeks. And
man.
It was like a flamethrower.
Of course it was.
Cool and refreshing for 30 seconds.
Freshen up toothpaste in your ass.
Yeah, I thought it would be great because it was really raw and sore.
Oh, my God.
But it must have smelled nice and fresh.
I wouldn't know. I wiped it back out immediately.
Did you?
It was awful, yeah, very painful. I'm all right now, though.
All right. Moving on, Anthony. The home remedy for a pulled muscle, according to Saddam Hussein, garlic, water, and hot sauce. Just rub it on there.
Ugh.
And that'll help a pulled muscle.
Mm.
On the U.S. failure to kill him at the start of the war, America, they bomb wrong palace.
Palace?
Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he was taking a cab.
Yeah.
From one palace to the other, and the palace he was heading to is the one they bombed thinking he was still in.
Oh, really?
According to him, who knows?
Yeah. I believe it. It was all that intelligence that was coming in that minute to minute. They would get some idea of where he was and just blow the whole place up.
Yeah. On the ministers from the new Iraqi government who formally charged him with crimes against his country, Anthony. Ministers of what? It's my country. I'm still the president of this country.
Gotta give him that. He's still defiant and delusional. The guy totally thinks he's still president, and one of these days he's going to be back in power. It's like his divine right. It's crazy.
And then there's...
I love it.
Well, he talks about that. His invitation to the soldiers to return after the war and stay in one of his palaces, 'cause, you know, the guys that were watching him.
Yeah.
I'll show you all around my country. It's not beautiful now, but it will be when I'm back in charge.
Back in charge. Make it the garden spot it was when he was in charge. Yeah, why not ask him that? Because, Saddam, how are you going to make it better when you were in charge for so long and your country stunk? Nobody, everyone was living in hovels. Only him and his family were wealthy. Everyone else is, scratching and clawing to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a little delusional.
Well, here it is. They told jokes, okay? You can always understand him, Dawson said. This is one of the soldiers that were guarding him.
4, if you don't slice them so thin. You slice them thin enough. Saddam got that joke wrong. He sucks.
Because his English was broken.
Yeah,
so
it's broken.
So that was very accurate, actually, Anthony.
Put the Velcro on the ceiling.
But he was laughing, so you start laughing, too. And this is the joke they told him. Saddam was in a news blackout. I told him Jesse Jackson was president just to screw around, Dawson said, and he cracked up. Saddam later said he had no hard feelings and just wanted to talk with Bush. He thought that Bush could forgive and forget about what has happened.
Forgive and forget?
Mm-hmm.
Pull out? Put him back in charge?
He knows I have nothing, no mass weapons. He knows he'll never find them. So it goes on and on. It's the story of the day, basically.
Front page.
He hates his Fruit Loops, but loves Cheetos, Doritos, and Raisin Bran Crunch.
The future looks bright, doesn't it?
And at times he wishes he had a candle and a fine woman, he was telling the soldiers.
Yeah.
Some of those lonely nights he would tell them, I wish I had a woman here and a candle. So he's a romantic, Anthony.
Who's driving? The police officer. Cracking him up with his jokes.
Yeah. There you have it.
Jesse Jackson.
Let's say hi to Brian in Pennsylvania. Brian, what's up?
Brian. Hey, Opie. Hey, Anthony. You guys are the best.
Thank you, friend.
Here's the thing. I was watching the news last night, okay? And they were interviewing soldiers from Pittsburgh that watched over Saddam.
Yep.
And what happens was they were telling all about what happened and everything that they did, and they said that the prison was a hellhole, you know?
Yeah.
And the reason why I was calling was because I wanted to share that quote about the woman, which I didn't realize that you guys had already done.
Uh-oh, sir. You know what you're going to get.
What? The car crash, right?
Yeah, it sounds like you already were in a car crash.
You know,
it sounds like you have a head injury.
Guys, you guys rock.
Thank you, my friend.
I'm serious. I used to listen.
Mark in Oklahoma City. What's up, Mark?
I love that hang-up.
I don't mean to get off topic, but the other day I went garage sailing with the wife, and you know those old metal signs they used to make like back in the 40s and the 50s, like Texaco and Union 76 and all that?
Yep.
I come across 2 of them that got to be the most racist signs I've ever seen. It's like they both have pictures of black women on them eating a big old slice of watermelon. It's for some fruit company. Yeah. And I was going to send them to you guys if you wanted them to crack up or whatever.
We'll hang them in the studio, man. Send them in.
There's a lot of racist collectibles out there from the older days, from the, as some people call them, the good old days.
Yeah, you were talking about that a month ago. That, and I wanted to congratulate Jimmy. I made the 200-mile drive down here to Dallas Saturday. You rock, dude.
Thank you.
I was going to get a picture of you, but you said no pictures, so all I got was your back walking away.
Very funny.
How we doing, buddy?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, they ever see some of those stuff? They sell a lot of it down south. Salt and pepper shakers of like Aunt Jemima and an old grandpappy kind of looking black guy.
What's racist about that?
Babies, little black babies, and it's from like the 30s, 40s. Signs like he was talking about with all kinds of racist stuff written on it.
Speaking of which, I got what? Jesus. Yeah.
They're still making that stuff today.
They still make it.
Yep.
Where are they making it?
I don't know, but it's still being made.
Fascinating. Thank you. Your mic goes back off. Jesus Christ. You want to tell her when the sun's out, too?
He gives him a ha-ha.
He got a ha-ha today. Speaking of which, what I was getting at, we got something for Jimmy today. That I think Nathaniel, one of the young go-getters, brought in for you, Jimmy.
And ask them if they want to help save this country from the onslaught of integration. You know the system is they want to throw white children and colored children into the melting pot of integration, out of which will come a conglomerated, mulatto, mongrel class of people. Both races will be destroyed in such a movement. I, for one, under God, will die before I'll yield 1 inch to that kind of a movement.
Mulatto, mongrel class of people.
I gotta hear that again.
I want to start hearing the original, movie lines now.
Yeah,
because it makes it so much funnier after hearing you do that.
Mongrel. Yeah, he just gets so heated.
Oh, he's pissed.
He gets so hot under the collar.
Mongrel. What does he say? He says mongrel
class of people.
Class of people.
I always said mongrel race, but mongrel class of people. Both
So
races will be destroyed.
It's always slightly different than we remember it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like whenever you start doing the movie clips, you start reciting them. It's always a little different when you hear the clip. You're like, hey, wait a minute.
You kind of make it your
I don't
own.
do it like that.
But the bottom line is it's the beauty of what he's saying.
Of course it is.
Speaking of lines, isn't it true that
the beauty of what he's
isn't it true that they never said "Beam me up, Scotty" in Star Trek?
Yeah. Words like that. Yeah, things like that. Never beam me up, Scotty.
But everyone uses "Beam me up, Scotty."
Scotty, energize.
Or,
yeah.
What was it that James Cagney was supposed to have said?
You dirty rat, you killed my brother.
Never said you dirty rat.
Never said that. Played against Sam.
Never said.
Never said that.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, what was that song you're playing?
All right, Kimberly in New Hampshire. What's up, Kimberly?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hi.
Hi. Anthony, can you do a little bit of a rewind, please?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
We're talking about the old racist collectibles.
Yeah.
And you refer to the Mammy and the Pappy salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
With the little black kids.
Yeah.
I just wanted to correct your verbiage. Little black children are called pickaninnies.
Oh, they were little pickaninnies.
Yes,
Yeah.
What?
Just wanted to clarify that for
I
you,
don't
okay?
know. Back in the olden days, they called them pickaninnies. It's an old, derogatory term, but since we're talking about the old collectibles, and people collect these. They really do. They have full collections in their house. I guess, not racist either. A lot of black people collect these things. Yeah.
They do?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, they do.
Like Will Smith?
Will Smith seems like the kind of guy that might have old racist collectibles. I don't know. I've never been to his house. I don't know this man. I don't know what he does. But he could have racist collectibles.
All right, Kimberly, thank you.
All right, you guys suck.
Bye.
Bye. There she goes, Kimberly.
It's like Sheriff Pell said, or Deputy Pell said, they're so cute when they're young.
Oh.
Remember that, Brad Dourif?
Oh, my goodness.
This is another big story today.
Vader never said, Luke, I am your father.
Oh, really?
Said, no, I am your father.
Oh, that's just nitpicky.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but...
lines the way people remember them.
What are you, some kind of mongrel class of people? Bunch of mulattoes?
Mulattoes. Olden days, I went to Arkansas a couple of years ago. I had to drive past a stretch of houses with Confederate flags flying from the porches and little black lawn jockeys in the yards. Paul Fleischman. I'm sure they would have loved you, Paul Fleischman, if you would have knocked on the door. What do you want, Jew?
Is it...
Not too fond of the Jews down there either.
Paul Fleischman was one of our old general managers, Anthony.
You think it's him from Stony Point?
That's a name I haven't heard in years.
That's a name I have not heard.
Another guy who knew best about the Opie and Anthony program.
Yeah.
Dope. Let's see.
I don't think he had the vision after seeing us for 2 weeks. Perhaps he didn't really understand.
What a dope. His vision was to break up the team and give you
Yes, it was.
my slot and let me go to Boston by myself.
Yeah,
that was brilliant, Paul.
Let me do radio alone.
Worked out for everybody, didn't it? You're no longer doing radio, and we're huge stars, dick.
2 weeks, I come in like a day. I've been doing radio a total of probably 2 days, and they offered me my own slot. 7 to midnight.
To get back at me, because I gave him three and a half years of really good radio and had a huge opportunity to go to Boston. And the fact is that Anthony and I, at that point, were just asking BAB to just throw us an afternoon drive. No one was doing anything special in the afternoon drive. And we would have kicked ass for him. But he didn't see it our way because he had guys in that position for years and years and didn't want to move anyone around.
Yeah.
So his idea was to, let me go to Boston and he'll keep Anthony and give him my slot.
Yeah.
But the whole deal was Ant and I were teaming up to do the show together at that point.
Right.
I'm not glad that worked that well.
Yeah.
I'd have to commute between Boston and Long Island.
Which way do I go? Which way?
You would have fought over me.
Like, of course.
It's my week with him.
Anyway,
I want Liddy.
He came home crying. His bottom sore. You can't see him anymore.
Oh, my God. You've started something, Anthony, and I want to get on to something else. But
these things are huge, dude.
All right, let's go to Troy in Pennsylvania. I had no idea, actually.
Yeah.
Troy, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning? Love this show.
Thanks, Troy.
Hey, I was just, you guys were talking about the racist memorabilia. If you go on eBay and type the word nigger into eBay, you get like 1 million hits. I remember
really?
A year or two ago. Yeah, they were trying to actually get the word taken off. It was a real big deal. Yeah, Jesse Jackson had to jump on the bandwagon there.
Really trying to get the word off of eBay, huh?
Right.
Wow, that's not, why would you put it in that context? Is that it right there? And there's some items up for bid?
Yeah, usually there's a whole bunch on there.
What are some of the items?
Well, Anthony, why don't you pop it up on your fine computer?
Let me find it on. I'll go to eBay.
The first thing I see is Blackie the Nigger.
Wow.
A children's book with colored pictures and rhymes without author and year, published by Sandal Brothers, London, probably in the 1940s. I bought it in 1975 in London.
How much?
How much is it going for? $10? Oh, it's that stupid freaking British money.
Oh,
so
pounds?
It's pounds or something, whatever. What's a GBP? Don't even answer the question. I don't need to know. It's $18.25 in U.S. dollars.
Dick Gregory's autobiography was called Nigger? I didn't know
that. Probably.
Yeah. Legend of Nigger Charlie, Fred Williamson movie. Black exploitation movie from the 70s.
We want the trailer to that. We haven't played that on the new show.
We'll get that. It's online somewhere. The Legend of Nigger Charlie.
The Lives and Loves of Mr. Jive-Ass Nigger was a book.
Original, early, complete, and working Jolly Nigger Bank. This is one of those metal banks.
I had no idea this was going
on. That you put the quarter
in
the hand and press something, and it flips the quarter in its mouth.
That's a happy bank. I like that.
Obviously, that's the name of it because there's 3 of them up for sale, and they all got the same name.
Is that a new product or older one?
Oh, it's old. That is really old.
How much is it?
I got one that's $73.
Yeah, I got one for $50.
There's a few. There's only 6 days left on that auction.
I want to go get one of those.
Wow, look at that.
Maybe I shouldn't use the word auction. On that eBay transaction.
Wow, and on the back it says it. It says Jolly Nigger Bank on the back, and he flips it up into his mouth. His mouth opens a little bit, and his eyes roll back white.
Aw, that's
eyes
cute.
roll back white. Takes your quarter.
Let's drink to your lips.
Let's go to Mike in South Carolina. Mike.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Mike. Hello.
Listen, I've been listening to you guys from day one. I love you to death.
Thank you.
I swear to God, on my father's grave, my girlfriend and I used to go to these auctions, flea markets in Myrtle Beach all the time. And we're going through, and there's this little 45 record. I thought, $80, what the hell is this? I get up close, and I had to buy it. The name of the record was Run Nigger Run by the Coon Hunters.
Oh, my God.
On the flip side, the name of the song is Good Night Nigger by the Coon Hunters. Now, you guys are talking about racist stuff. It's really funny. This is
funny.
Check on this. In Cherry Grove, South Carolina, on Sea Mountain Highway, there's a very popular restaurant. It's got, on the sign, it's got a little pickaninny baby with a little red bandana on top, and it's called Tar Babies.
Jesus.
Very, very popular restaurant.
Boy, there's still a lot going on down there, man.
Well, there's a ton of phone calls coming in from the South right now.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. West Virginia, another one from West Virginia.
There's a South Carolina. There's
Alabama.
Alabama. Let's say hi to... Well, we'll go up to New Jersey. Tom in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up, Angel Face?
Hi.
Yeah, we had a sign in our fraternity house one of my buddies found in a garage sale, and basically it was a little swiggy in blackface churning a big old pot of red liquid, and it said Jim's Blackberry Ale, and all you could see is the whites of his eyes and a big red smile on him.
Yeah, people collect this stuff.
Yeah, so we had to hide that every time certain people came to the party, you know.
Why? You should have showcased that.
That's a hard collection to have. Like, it's hard to justify it. If you collect it, you could legitimately be collecting it as historical, little figures and stuff. But then you have company over. If you have black people come over your house, how the hell are you gonna wouldn't you feel like you had to explain it
when the lambdas come over?
Right. When they come over your house.
Was it the lambda?
Yeah.
Right from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when Riff shows up.
Oh, so it's the fraternity house.
All right.
It's the fraternity house. We just, we tell them it's the landlords. They trashed the house. We don't give a shit. We're moving out in a couple weeks anyway.
But that's like a hard collect. You could collect anything else and have
baseball
people.
Cards.
Yeah, they come over and go, oh, let me see your
collection.
Oh, this guy's into this. Usually, if you're into collecting stuff, it's all over your house.
Hummels.
You have things like that, action figures, and then you collect these racist things. You have people come over. Oh, what's this? This is my racist collection. Let me show you my "Don't Hit the Nigger" sign that I got off a street in West Virginia. It's wonderful. It's like, what? How do you justify that as a collection? Even if you absolutely mean it, just as a collection.
That collection is in a room downstairs.
Do you think it? But that's even worse.
You open up the door and there it is.
That's even worse. Then you're hiding it, and there's some kind of shame there and some reason, or maybe it's hidden like that's your secret little passion and.
It's not like Mom's pig collection where there's pigs all over the house. I get it. You like fucking pigs.
Right.
I hate those collections.
They're all over the place,
Pick
right?
one animal. Pandas. Everything panda in the house.
I love unicorns.
Right. So unicorn calendars.
Just go around snapping the horn off. Now you have a horse collection, asshole. Right. Snap every horn off and throw it at him. Like your horse collection.
Stuffed animals. Throw rugs. What have you. Everything fucking unicorns. I hate those collections.
That's people that like Nazi memorabilia,
yes.
Which I think is some great stuff. But I would never collect it. You can't have a big Nazi flag with a swastika hanging on your wall in your house. I don't know why you can, if it's in a collection with other memorabilia, bayonets, maybe a nice Luger, uniform. Maybe you put the uniform on a few nights a week and you march around your house.
With like-minded friends.
Where's the problem? You're collecting. Like-minded friends.
Jesus. Jeremy in D.C. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey.
Hey.
Am I on?
Yeah.
I'm just calling to correct you on who actually buys those memorabilia.
Yeah. Yes?
It's mostly black people.
Well, I've heard that, too. A lot of black people buy this stuff. I don't know if it's some kind of healing thing or some empowerment thing for black people to actually go out and collect these things. I don't know. Wasn't that in a movie? I think some black guy. What was the name of the movie? You could just blurt it out.
Bamboozled?
Bamboozled. That was the one. You ever see that?
No.
Movie Bamboozled?
Spike Lee?
Yeah, Spike Lee did it. It was a whole thing about how two guys kind of made a pretty big career out of being like step and fetch it kind of guys. And one of the guys was a collector of this kind of memorabilia. But I think it was him trying to like heal himself and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I could see maybe as an empowerment thing, but if you're down south and you're white and you're collecting these things, you're just laughing at it with your friends. Look at this one here.
Of course you are.
Goddamn, look at this one.
Of course you are. That's the only reason you're buying
You're not
that
like,
stuff.
I picked up this piece at an auction house. It was one. You know.
Yeah, it's just like collecting coins.
Look at this one.
And the only time a black person sees it is when she's serving you lemonade or iced tea.
Right.
You know, those old southern white men.
Why don't you get me one of them mint juleps?
Let's go to Taylor in Virginia. Taylor, what's up?
Hey, fellas, my stepdad collects those signs, and there's definitely a bit of a racist motivation behind it.
Oh, yeah?
Him and one of his buddies have a running contest to see who can find the most offensive ones, and he's got them hanging all over his living room. They're not hidden away, no excuses for it. Anyone who walks in, it's just right there. The best part about those signs is how it's just like, it's not even like a person, it's just a silhouette, like pitch black with frizzy hair, big white eyes, and a big red smile, and just a slice of watermelon every fucking time.
Jeez.
Wow.
It's the most offensive possible thing you can find. It's just,
Yeah, that's a hard item to collect, man.
I had no idea this was
he's
going
proud
on.
of it. Very proud of it.
All right, Taylor, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
There's another big story in the New York papers today. You know, you got the Dorito Bandito on the cover of most of the paper. Well, all of the papers. And then, one of the side stories on the front page as well is a Bronx River tragedy.
Yeah.
I got a problem with this.
What?
Raft boy, 14 missing.
Raft boy.
I guess some kids were rafting.
Rafting in the Bronx.
In the Bronx?
Down the Bronx River.
First of all, I had no idea there was a river in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Second of all, they're on a homemade raft in the middle of New York City, basically?
Kids, you build a raft, you go...
You built a raft as a kid?
I didn't build one. I kind of found some stuff when I was in California. I lived right by San Juan River in San Juan Capistrano. And me and my buddy Richard went rafting down. This was before the treehouse incident.
Another Richard story.
Another Richard. This was before the treehouse incident where he turned gay on me one night. But
he wanted to get you stuck in the middle of that river.
Stuck in the river. Well, we're alone here and we're trapped.
I either throw this paddle overboard or you do what you do.
I'm drowning. I hear your balls contain oxygen.
Throws the...
Yeah. And we got this. It was actually just a fiberglass cover for some kind of thing you trail behind your car. Took that off and turned it upside down and put it in the river. And
that could barely fit two people.
We were very close. Actually, he had to sit on my lap. And we sailed that down the river all the way to the beach.
All the way to Fagsville.
He wasn't, I don't know. You look back and I see that he was a little effeminate during those days, early on, but I never dreamed. You never think,
Good old.
You just don't think like that as a kid.
Good old Anthony and Suck Finn.
Very funny. Suck Finn. Yeah, so we sailed that down there.
Just rafting and sucking.
Rafting.
Jesus.
Every time you looked over, he'd check out your bulge. Every time you looked at the gardenias.
Who knew that was going on? I'd be, let me try to get the oar, and I'll try to row over to this side, and you're just looking at my cock the whole time.
Making a noise.
Yearning. Oh.
Yearning,
to
wanting.
Suck on that. Jeepers.
Not only did he want to do that, though, but he wanted to grip your ass cheeks and hold them.
I didn't know. I didn't know, and I'm sure there were signs, but, who the hell knew until, D-Day in the treehouse. There's really no getting around that one. There's no misinterpreting. Can I suck your cock? There's no misinterpreting that. Yeah. That was a little rough. But before that, we were doing things like that. Rafting, riding horses, fishing. A lot of times we ride our bikes and go to Dana Point, go fishing off the rocks in Dana Point. And who knew? Just the switch goes off, all of a sudden, the gay switch. Someone flipped the gay switch on him. That was it.
Let's go to Dale in Illinois. Dale, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm a little bit behind on the subject because you guys changed so quick.
Yes,
but
my
wait, you bring up a good point, though. All the subjects we cover, we could always go back to them because that'll help the show as well. Some of the stuff maybe you want to get in on yesterday, you can call us today and jump in.
No format here.
None at all. We just jump all over the place and just Watch the clock get to 11.
That's it.
Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, my uncle, he was tearing down a house, and he found some Confederate money. I don't know if it's real, but it's got slaves picking cotton. I don't know if it's real or not.
That's probably replica. I remember I had those as a kid. Replica Confederate money.
Check it, though.
You'd buy it at, like, some of those old restoration villages. You ever go to the Bethpage?
Of course.
Village Restoration?
Of course.
Ooh, I'll have a birch beer, please. And some candy. I could get 5 for a penny.
And then you go into the old schoolhouse, and everyone just says the same fucking thing. Wow, these desks are small.
They're small.
And look at these doorways. They must have been shorter back then.
Now we're going to watch Clara churn some butter.
Right.
And you sit there and watch her churn the butter, and everybody's all pleasant. They tip the hat. Good day to you, sir.
Right.
All dressed up. That sucks. What an awful little trip to take your kids on. I remember once my father and mother and everybody, we all went to the Bethpage Village Restoration. Sucked. It's just awful. You sit there, the only good thing was like the little stick candy they'd give you. You sit there getting all sticky and show and then you get this lecture on how the mill worked.
Wasn't it the sugar candy stick?
Yeah, it was just like sugar candy flavored.
Yeah.
And you'd eat that and drink root beer.
Stunk back
drink
then.
root beer. And they take you around and show you, the river works the paddle wheel, which ground the grain to make bread, and you'd watch them go from grain to bread in real time. Wonderful.
And then they would explain how they used to play baseball without gloves.
Right.
Ugh.
People walking around in their little costumes.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, they're going to have a game.
Good
day
to
use
you.
all the old equipment they used to use back in the day.
We'll watch. You really felt into it as you're walking around with your sneakers on and
your Starbucks coffee and
Star Wars T-shirt back in the old days.
We went to Colonial Williamsburg in Virginia. My mom wanted to go. We all went.
How much did that stink?
At
least that's kind of
awful.
I wouldn't mind touring some of the Civil War battlefields.
It was awful.
I would go to that. That sounds kind of cool, historic. But if you're in Bethpage, Long Island, what happened there? There's nothing exciting that happened. And I could the village restoration is probably very boring even in Williamsburg.
It was awful.
Hello, my lady.
Ugh, yeah.
Good day, sir. Shut up.
Now we're going to amputate a man's leg. Watch how he bites this wallet.
Go to the doctor. Yeah. A little medic tent over there. If you injure yourself, maybe get a splinter on their wooden porches and they just hacksaw your hand off. Slap a cauterizing iron on it.
Here's a shot of bourbon, son.
Something to remember your trip by. The loss of a limb.
There you go. Well, Raft Boy, it looks like he's dead. They can't find him, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, a bunch of kids just making a homemade raft in the middle of the Bronx and going down the river.
Yeah, John Montone on the 1010 Wins this morning, the monotone reporter guy, he called it a Huck Finn story. It's a little odd.
That is
it's like a black kid,
That is a little odd. So.
And, having a little Huck Finn story, he said.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
And did he refer to the kid as the Jim character?
Yeah, I know. That's why it was hey, old Jim.
Good old Jim.
Well, didn't they change the name because it was offensive, and now they're calling him Nigger James?
You know what, I
think we've filled our racist quota for
That's not that. That's the name of the
day.
character. It was
I
Nigger
know,
Jim, and they're
absolutely.
changing it.
I got to confess something.
Sweetie, what?
During our hiatus, I decided to do some of that reading.
Yeah.
And I read about 100 books in 2 years. Just started reading everything. Some good books, some bad books. And I was reading that good old Huck story there.
Huck Finn?
Huck Finn. Which one was that?
Tom Sawyer?
Or what was it the other one?
Which one?
Isn't there two?
Oh, you read it.
What?
The Sun's Up.
The Sun's Up?
No, Tom Sawyer. Okay.
Tom Sawyer.
And, Earl is a good friend of ours, Black Earl, and he would call me. He calls me every day. Ever since I've met him, I think he's called me every single fucking day. And so I was reading Tom Sawyer, and I would just read passages to him on the phone.
Oh, that is not nice.
Because there's some great
Oh, really hardcore racist stuff in there, man.
In that book, and he would just... he would make believe he was really pissed, and then he would laugh openly,
Yeah.
Because he'd call me in the middle of my reading, and I would just start reading from Tom Sawyer to him.
Earl's got a great appreciation for that kind of thing. He enjoyed the Nigger Charlie poster we got, and when we would play the trailer for the movie, which we do have to find. Get on that, somebody.
By the way, I want to thank Earl Tunes. Got the brand new Foo Fighters CD. Thanks to Earl.
He came by with it?
Yep.
Loads it up and leaves with it.
Yep. Yep.
It's like the guy that replaces the candy in the vending machines.
And whoever gave that tip yesterday about holding the shift key down, thank you. Thank you
it worked.
so much.
It worked.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because some of these CDs you can't get onto your iTunes. We were talking about that yesterday. Someone called in and said you hold down the shift key.
Yeah.
And it bypasses, I guess, whatever program that's on the actual CD to prevent you from getting it on your computer and into iTunes.
How about that?
What you have to do is hold the shift key before you get the CD into the tray there. And push, you push the tray.
When can you let it go? The whole time you have to hold it?
He's still holding it. It has a brick on it right now. If he lets it go, it ruins it.
You have to carry that on your iPod, a brick.
No, I guess when all of a sudden you see the song's up and ready to be imported or whatever, then you could let go of the shift key. It worked perfectly on the Coldplay CD and the Foo Fighters.
Wow, a listener actually called in with an idea and it worked.
And it worked.
That is a first.
And it worked.
Morons never get anything right.
Worked like a charm, Anthony.
And you were right. There was obviously a program that was keeping it from happening. It wasn't just your computer.
That's what the guy said. That's what the guy said yesterday. Joe, the trucker in Virginia. What's up, Joe?
Guys. Bad, long time no hair.
Got to thank the truckers. They're the ones spreading the virus the most for the Opie and Anthony program.
Yeah, well, I finally got my up, and I just wanted to ask Anthony, did you remember to bring in the tapes? Or the
DVDs, yes.
DVDs?
Yes, I did.
And another thing, do you think they're going to make some kind of wacky movie with a Saddam type of thing with the guys, the soldiers and all that kind of crap?
Yeah, they'll probably make some
wacky
made-for-TV movie.
I don't think there's any wackiness there, is there?
Oh, there's some wackiness there.
Well, yeah, they're doing all kinds of skits with Mad TV and everything else. Maybe they'll do something like that.
There you have it. All right, thank you, bro.
See you.
What a great gig, though, to have if you're stationed in Iraq.
Well, one of the guys, because we know Saddam from the news. He even writes in his diary the way that this guy acts around and toward us makes it hard to picture him doing the things he did.
Yeah.
But we just have to keep reminding ourselves of that when we start to get too close. Because they were getting really close to Saddam, becoming his pal in a way.
Dictators are people, too.
Good point.
That's what I like to say. And no matter what horrible atrocities they commit, at the end of the day, they like a good laugh, a bowl of Raisin Bran Crunch, and some soggy Doritos.
And no Fruit Loops.
And a little joke with the soldiers that are holding you prisoner.
Yeah. Before they left, Saddam told the men, I'll show you around my country when I'm back in charge. And I'm thinking, I think he's just kind of,
Bring him in.
Bring him in a little bit.
He considers them family.
And all of a sudden, imagine he happens to go back to Iraq and he invites...
What scenario would possibly have that end result?
I know, but the thought I have in my mind here is then all of a sudden he goes, he writes the boys, they're all in Pennsylvania, like, hey, remember you guarded me in prison, and I'm a man of my word, I want to show you the country now, and these guys... Go
on over.
And then they're tortured for the next 6 months for...
No, they become his sons.
I doubt it.
Live in the palace.
Yeah.
I can't see a scenario on this planet where he gets returned to power.
Oh, I can.
Yeah?
Yeah, we pull out. The Iraqi interim government, one of their heads is killed, say, by some al-Zarqawi bombing. And, some people that are sympathetic to Saddam break him out, and then, like a Castro-type of rebellion.
Bust them out?
Probably won't happen, but, I mean, it could.
After we're all gone?
Yeah, it would have to be after we're gone.
And then he's left to be guarded by just Iraqis.
Right.
Like we're completely out of the situation.
Yeah.
Good
That'll
point.
never happen.
That is a good point, though.
Yeah, I agree. Probably
way down the line.
We'll probably always have special forces.
I'm sure they never thought the Ayatollah was ever coming back to Iran.
No, that
when the Shah was in there.
That'll never happen. The government has already given him a disease.
No.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's going to take about 4 or 5 years, but he'll die of something now.
Apparently they've given him cuddlyitis because everyone likes him.
Everyone loves this guy.
Nah, he's already got a...
Cuddlyitis.
He already has a fatal disease.
Does he?
Oh, yeah. The government does that type of thing.
He looks pretty healthy.
Yeah.
They got it into his food, I'm telling you.
They did?
Yeah, he's got 5 years tops.
All right. You heard it here first. Oh, never knew that.
Yeah, it's how they got Bill Hicks. They're doing the same thing.
What did Bill Hicks do?
There's rumors that
subversive.
The government might have got to him because he was spewing the truth,
being a little subversive. Yeah, let's get the comedians first.
Yeah. Imagine Noam Chomsky would have been taken out before Bill Hicks and a few other problem makers.
Nah, there he did something to his food. Poor guy. He's got 4 or 5 years tops.
He's a good egg.
All right, why don't we take a break, Anthony?
Right.
When we get back, they're working on your Dinah Shore tapes.
Dinah Shore.
And all the old celebrities singing like Hervé
Villachez. Who we found out yesterday had, what did he have? Spastic colon. And like diarrhea or something.
Did we get a definition of what a spastic colon is and what it does to you?
We're
all assuming, that it's just...
I'm thinking it's a loss of muscular control of the colon. So you just kind of like crap yourself.
Yeah.
Wear little diapers on the guy.
Well, maybe one of our young go-getters could get a definition of that for us for the program. All right, so on the way, in the meantime, we'll have the Siskel and Ebert outtakes you were talking about yesterday.
Yep, this is during the taping of a promo segment where they go, tonight on blah, blah, blah. And they just, in between, they're just chewing each other apart. And
the guys were laughing really hard in the office as they were getting this together, so I think this is going to be pretty good.
Deep hatred between these two people.
All right, we'll do that next, so stay there.
Opie really doesn't care about our lives. And I hate you all. Oh! And I hate you all. Oh! And I hate you all. Oh! And I hate you all.
Oh! You gotta help me!
Look, Jerky, I don't need to talk to you.
All right, kids, hold on your hats. 1, 2, 3. Joe blows monkey ass. Joe blows. Joe blows monkey ass. Monkey ass.
Who's the man? Who's the man? Dylan. Who's the man? Detective Johnson. Who's the man?
It's our show, you tool.
I knew this was a scam.
Unbelievable. I can't go on. Opie and Anthony.
Come on, it's not funny anymore.
Make it stop.
Make it stop.
The Opie and Anthony Show. XM 202.
Oh, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and then open the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. And this is done, get the and given to me. Oh,
Speaking of the sickness, spastic colon. It's a form of irritable bowel syndrome. Symptoms are mild or severe abdominal pain, discomfort or cramping, usually relieved after a bowel movement. Periods of diarrhea, constipation, or alternating diarrhea and constipation. Ow! Oh.
Do you feel that? Oh, shit. Oh, wah, Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it flow into me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. I I can see inside you the sickness is rising. It seems that all that was good has died. Oh no, the world is a scary place. Now that you've woken up the demon in me.
Richard Cheese, Down with the Sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Imagine that Paul Anka CD.
Yeah.
Don't even bring up Paul Anka.
Oh, boy,
Not
did I
for
catch a
Richard
lot of
Cheese.
crap for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's funny. The woman who kind of did his album,
Yeah.
it turns out I know her.
Stop, really?
She heard me giving a bunch of malarkey to it.
Whoa.
So I'm in my manager's truck in L.A., and he's got this Bluetooth phone. And she's like, we probably would have gotten him a guest. She's like, I had that yanked. She's like, I couldn't believe you were saying that stuff.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
That figures.
Who cares?
That's why people in Hollywood never badmouth anybody. That's why. Because they don't burn bridges like that.
Well, yeah,
There's always a doorway you'll be closing if you bash somebody. That's why they're all phonies.
She wasn't really mad. She was just kind of busting my balls. I just felt silly.
Why
Why
is
get caught
Terry
talking about
Schiavo
somebody?
still in the news?
I really had to, I don't know. Why is her hair all hoard up?
Face still in the news?
Because they laid her to rest in Clearwater, Florida.
I saw the tombstone and everything. Yeah. Detroit's burning. I love just watching the news. There you go.
Wow, walls just falling down.
Yeah, it's Detroit. Oh, my God, that's a big fire.
Yeah, it's a huge warehouse fire in Detroit today.
What, did one of their teams win?
No,
No?
the NBA's. That's what I thought as soon as I saw it this morning.
When you see a fire, you know who won the game.
Did I miss a game last night? But no, the NBA Finals continue tonight, Anthony.
Yeah.
Let's go to Fernando. He wants to talk about spastic colon.
Fernando.
All right, what's up, boys?
Hello.
O&A, little Jimmy.
Yes.
You have nice nipples, Jim.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
Listen, I heard from
Compliment.
my friend, you might know him, Lloyd, the bartender, who said it was spastic colon is really a momentary loss of muscular coordination. Punch it out.
But per second.
All right, couple clips. There was a show on Bravo.
Yeah.
This is leading up.
Talking about the one we were on?
Oh no, we're done with that. Thank God.
You guys on Bravo?
Oh yeah.
Did you play all the
Great.
clips?
Of course we did.
Wait, you weren't here for that either?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure. You know, sometimes you have to step out and be a star around the country. We forget if
Yep.
you're here or not for some of these bits. Let's see. Bravo Channel did a show called Show Dog Moms and Dads. Got two really quick tracks, Anthony.
Oh, these people are lunatics. They own show dogs. And people that own show dogs are crazy. My sister used to show dogs. Yeah. And she was a lunatic. And we'd be around people that were lunatics. I never wanted to go. This was when I had just gotten back from California.
What kind of dogs was
She had
showing?
She had a Bichon Frisé. A Bichon. And she would, gussy it all up
You mean
and
she had
show it.
Was it like a rat dog?
No, she had another rat dog, though. She had a little Yorkshire Terrier. And that one she wouldn't show. But she showed the Bichon. And I would go to these stupid dog shows. And one time I sat down in dog shit. It's like ruined my whole day. Which was ruined anyway just by being there. But the people, they treat their dogs like kids. Really treat their dogs like kids.
And you see the personality in the dogs.
Yeah.
They get spoiled and shit.
Oh, totally spoiled. And it's their whole life. Like this whole show. You don't know anybody or anything having to do with show dogs, right? But to them, that whole world they're in it's the only world. So they all know each other. They know who's good, who's like the famous show dog guy. They'll know who that is walking around. See that guy? That's the guy that had the champion 2 years running. Do you know how small this world is that you're living in?
He's
and
also
how much anybody doesn't care?
He also has to be the gayest guy in the room.
Yes, and again, all guys involved in dog showing are gay men. They're all gay.
What is going on with dogs in general? Because I live in a stupid dog neighborhood. I hate it more than
little yippy dogs.
More than I could tell you, Anthony. I hate it.
Yeah.
And all these, these people walking down the sidewalk with their dogs on leashes, and they think it's okay for their dog to start sniffing you. And I've told people a few times.
Oh, he's not shy. Just
And I've told a few people in my neighborhood. I go, look, not everyone likes dogs. Will you get your dog off me?
Just ask Chester.
Well, Maybe I shouldn't talk about dogs. But I don't know what's going on with dogs in general. Maybe someone can help me out here. But they're breeding all sorts of new dogs.
You know what you do with the dog?
That's the new thing out there. I'm seeing dogs that are so small you can barely see them at this point.
Yeah, little tiny things.
Well, we've all seen the rat dogs, but I'm talking about dogs that are a lot smaller than these rat dogs.
Yeah, they're breeding them even smaller for the apartments. And if an old lady's walking one, the good thing to do is you kick it as hard as you can and see how many times the leash wraps around the old lady. If you get it all the way to the dog, and the dog actually hits the old lady and hangs there like tetherball, then you win. Little yappy dog. And they're all walking around with their stupid little dog and their stupid plastic bag on their hand waiting to pick up that hot, steaming load of shit.
I know, that's the best.
The disgusting plastic bag on their hand. Enough.
That is the best. All right, we got a couple clips from this Bravo show.
Oh.
Listen to what happened to this. I think it's a woman. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Listen to what happened. Oh, no. Oh, it has to be a woman because I do know the clip.
All right.
Never mind. Sorry.
For many days I didn't bring him here because I suffer when he bites me. He bites me in my vagina. When I'm walking and he sees other dog, he right away, he jumps on my vagina because he gets so crazy. He doesn't know who I am. He forgets everything. And he bites the Labrador on his penis. I don't want him to bite my Labrador and the penis. My Labrador is a baby. It's beautiful.
Her little dog bit her in the vagina.
It bit her in the vagina.
But it sounds like a guy. Maybe he's talking about a man vagina or something.
That didn't sound like an attractive woman.
So,
no.
And then
bit her in the vagina.
It's hard to understand her, but it sounds like her dog bit like another dog's penis.
Another dog's penis. This one, sexy dog.
Another clip here.
Look, in my vagina 2 times he bite me. But his teeth are very small and they don't damage very much. They pinch.
Maybe she stopped rubbing peanut butter in it. The dog would knock that off.
Dog's taking over the household, just running around biting her in the vagina.
Biting her in her snatch. Well,
that's a great clip, though, isn't it?
Yee. Yeah, the movie Best in Show. Very funny.
Of course. That was a pretty good movie. Artie in Yonkers, faithful listener of the program. What's up, Artie?
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Got my friend had a show dog, and we would go over, and he would constantly ask us to cup his balls because the dogs had to be used to a stranger grabbing his balls because apparently the judges have to do this at the contest.
Yeah, this is what the judges do.
What?
They grab now when you show a dog and they're just like the static showing of the dog. They're standing on this table.
What's the static showing?
It's just sitting there. Because then there's another part where they gotta walk around.
How do you know that it's called the static showing of the dog?
I know because like what my sister was doing the dog show. So.
Forget Aristotle and fuck Socrates. Here comes Professor Anthony.
He knows a little bit about everything. I hate you.
So
I really do, man. Your knowledge makes us all look really stupid every day. You realize that?
No, it just makes me look like I know a bunch of worthless information. She would stand there, and she'd have to hold the dog's tail, like right next to the dog's asshole, which was really disgusting to me, and under the chin. And she'd hold the dog there, and when you hold the dog like that, they know to stand perfectly still. And the judge comes over and feels the dog from the nose all the way down to the tail.
What is he looking for?
He's looking for any irregularities, any bumps, tumors, looking for muscular structure under the fur, and then they look at the fur for any patches of discoloration, things like that. And then the final thing they do is grab underneath and grab the dog's balls and shake them around in their hand a little, to see if the dog has both balls and both of them are dropped, is what it is. That's what it's for, to make sure that all its reproductive organs are operating.
Go ahead, Artie.
Yes, Artie?
Hey, Jimmy.
Wow, he
Artie?
went way back. He was trying to get you, Jimmy. Remember way back? I think it was back in 73 when we first started that.
It's an impossibility.
Let's go to Chris in Pennsylvania. Chris, what's up?
Morning, boys.
Morning.
I just wanted to know if any of those show dogs had a little cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and couldn't learn to shut up.
Oh, very funny. Okay. Little Jean Benet reference.
Punching out.
A little cowboy hat with a little 6-shooter. She'd pull them out. Pew, pew.
Yeah. Little boots.
You just look at her and go, God, I want to choke her with a Garrett. A little hat topple on that hard cement floor in the basement. Make that little sound. Tries to defend herself with a little non-working toy 6 guns. The murderer just looks and smiles. Oh, look, she's trying to shoot me.
Oh my God! The hat tumbles on the sand.
Well.
What are you going to do? It's bad karma, dude.
It is bad karma, man. What's so funny about shut up?
Shut up.
Clam up.
Anthony brought some stuff to the program today.
Ah, yes.
This is the Siskel and Ebert stuff you were talking about yesterday.
Uh-huh.
The outtakes. What was this from?
This is, remember Siskel and Ebert? Before
no, I know all
Siskel
that,
died?
But where's this video from?
This was, Big Kev brought me this,
Where'd you find it, Kev?
At one of the cons that I go to.
One of the great conventions.
Yes.
Mon Sci-Fi Con. Which one was it?
This one was the Big Apple Comic Con.
Big Apple Comic Con. And who were the big celebrities that were there this year?
I can't recall.
Really, that big? So, let's see. Was Mark Hamill there?
Mark Hamill was not there.
He's at the sci-fi ones. I want to go to one of these, but I'm so afraid. Because it's just tables and tables full of these washed-up celebrities. Kev sent me a list once of all the celebrities that were going to be there, and their corresponding, like, websites, and they all have web... And some of these people were in one episode of The Twilight Zone, like playing the wife of the husband-wife that was lost in a town that wasn't real. And she's made a whole living going to these things, signing things as a woman from a Twilight Zone episode.
Do they take pictures with you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And they're all sitting there hoping to be recognized.
Yeah, an Oompa Loompa. Like an Oompa Loompa will show up and sign stuff.
Isn't there only one left?
Oh,
no, it's the Wizard of Oz.
There is not a Wizard of Oz midget left, is there?
Yeah.
There's one.
Wow, there is? That's an old midget.
Yeah.
Didn't think they lived that long.
The coroner, I believe, is the one that's
really?
still alive.
That pronounced her severely dead. That one? He's still alive?
I believe so, yeah.
Like you could tell the difference between that one or any other friggin'
midget. Could be some other one.
They're
some
like
other midget
mongoloids.
just coming up going, I'm the one.
Look at that steep forehead thing going.
Yeah, he'd be 30 and you'd believe it.
Of course.
Just a wrinkled little short nothing.
I got a clip about conventions.
Oh.
Hey, wait. I saw that Lost in Space movie. You are not Dr. Smith.
Oh, the pain, the pain, the pain of it all.
You have still got it, Dr. Smith.
Silence, you nickel-plated nitwit! My dear boy, I'd be happy to show you my resume if you'd care to meet me later in the food court.
Danger, danger, Bart Simpson.
That was just on last night. Yeah. Just saw that one last night.
Well, we're talking about conventions. Mark Hamill addresses the convention.
Welcome, futurists, cyberphiles, and the rest of you dateless wonders. And now to push this convention into hyperspace, the man who put the star in Star Wars, a real burr under Darth Vader's saddle, Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill!
He comes out with a lightsaber, and he starts hitting these cardboard cutouts of stormtroopers with his lightsaber, knocking them down. And then Wonder Woman's there, and he hits that one, too.
Hey, thanks, everybody. You know, I'm here today as Luke Skywalker, but I'm also here to talk about Sprint. As you can see, you stand to save up to 17 cents a month over the more dependable providers.
I talk about Star Wars!
You stupid nerd! He's trying to save you money in long distance!
Star Wars, huh? Well, let me ask you this. How many of you have ever dreamed of being in that movie? Well, you're in luck, because we're going to act out a scene, and I'll need a volunteer to play Obi-Wan.
Kenobi?
Kenobi?
Mark, pick me. My whole life has been leading to this moment.
I like hell it has. If anybody's going to play Obi, it's me.
All right, step away, foolish amateurs. Just keep back. Keep out of it. The role's mine. With the acting and the groupies and the Luke, save me. With the lightsaber and the wing.
Goddamn Simpsons, man.
Stupid conventions.
Everyone goofs on them. I don't know how these people go there and actually do these things. We've gotten a couple of good ones, though. We got Linda Blair.
We got to go to one.
Yeah.
It would make for some great radio to talk about it.
We got Linda Blair on the phone and then just shouted power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, can we find that clip?
Well, we did do that, right?
Yeah, and just that's all we said to
Yeah,
her. And
yeah.
she's like, all right, guys, come on, you know. And we just kept going until she hung up. Then we called her back to straighten things out and did the same thing. We called her back. She gets on the phone, and our producer, I guess, said, no, the guys want to straighten this out with you and stuff. We're just joking. So she got on. She goes, hello? The power of Christ compels you. And we just kept doing it. She was so pissed.
That was a lot of fun.
It got kept thrown out of the convention.
For a year.
For a year. He was banished.
You're banished for a year.
Yeah. Because Big Kev is downplaying it. He likes going to these conventions.
I do.
And we got him banned for a year because we were doing a dumb radio bit.
Yeah.
Can someone tell Big Kev to never come in with that beard again? That's really the
You got
worst
a beard
I've
today?
ever seen.
I haven't really seen
You
that.
can't see it in Radio Land, but it looks like a hairy mumps wrap.
Mumps wrap. What is this, the 40s?
It doesn't cover the front of his chin or his face. It just goes from his sideburns underneath his neck.
Like when cartoon characters got the mumps, they tie that thing around their head and a big bow was on top of their head. It's a mumps wrap. That's great.
Yeah, sure. Let's go to Chris in Kentucky. Chris, what's up?
What's going on? Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I really hate to bring the show to a screeching halt, but I want to go back to yesterday's bit, this celebrities and songs they could sing.
All right.
First of all, before we get into that, Jimmy, I heard your co-host on Comedy Channel yesterday, and I want to undefend Sonny Fox. He was an ass to you, but anyway.
You think he was? Why?
Well, all the bits Jimmy asked for, he would like, okay, terrific, yeah, we got that one. And he would play like the shortest possible version of it and then cut to something totally different. And then kind of the way he was talking to me, yeah, so you do the, he did plug you guys like 5 or 6 times, so I'll give him that much. But,
so what do you mean? I didn't hear it. What did he play prior?
Oh, yeah, well, like I said, they play like 5 or 6 comedy bits. They go to Jimmy. You probably only heard like all total through the whole like 3 or 4 hours, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes of them talking, Joel and Sonny and Jimmy. And,
Wait, I guess Jim Norton was hosting on the Comedy Channel last night. Is that what we're getting at?
It was. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, that's okay. It was going to be like one of those interviews, like they do. But I guess we had done one before we came back on the air.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to do another one. So they just did wraparounds.
Yeah, and it was obviously before you taped Leno, because you still said Joe Perry was going to be on there, but.
Yeah.
And I did like the bit. You said, so let's play something from here. He's like, no. Jimmy's like, no. So these comedians, they said, yeah, come on, play track 4 off my CD. They ought to be executed. I got a chuckle out of that. But you did request some great bits, Kennison and Pryor, and they played some Bill Hicks in there. You didn't mention him, but I know he's one of your favorites, and they did play some
No,
Bill.
he's not. I don't dislike Hicks. I never really listened to Hicks.
Yeah,
Opie's the Hicks fan.
I love Bill Hicks, man.
The other day when you opened the show with Let Me Plaster on a Fake Smile, I was like, man, he better give Bill credit on that one. But anyway, I got a couple quick questions for Anthony and Opie, and then a celebrity song I'll close with.
All right.
Oh, boy, this guy's call's going on forever, though.
I like it, though. He's got himself organized.
Yeah, so far he's good. I'm going to give him credit. So far he's all right. Go ahead, Chris.
I called in with a pocket pussy the other day, but Anthony, you always talk about being in the band, and you never have mentioned if you just sang or did you play anything or what. And
I just sang.
We ought to sing on the show sometime for real. Even your goofy singing sounds really good.
Thank you, sir. No, every so often, like once a year or something, me, my brother, and Bill Brady and stuff hook up, find some club somewhere and just have fun.
Anthony could sing, man, big time.
Thank you. I mean, I heard him goofing off, and I mean, I can tell he knows what he's doing when he talks about songs like on Hit Me Baby One More Time. It's obvious he knows what he's talking about.
All right.
Thank you,
what
sir.
Else, Chris?
And just
I'm glad we didn't hang up on this guy.
And I'll make this real quick here. Opie, you talk about how you hate your name. You got it when you were 12. And first of all, why did it take until 12 to get that name? Second of all, you started doing radio when you were like 18 or 19. So if you hate it so much, why did you still go with Opie even though you hated it once you started doing radio?
Yeah, that is a good point. I was the only kid in class that didn't have a nickname when I was in like 6th or 7th. Actually, I guess it was junior high, so 7th grade.
Okay,
so I was like 13, and one day in math class, this girl, Julie Burson, stood up and said, hey, you don't have a nickname. Because everyone else, I guess, had nicknames in the class and trying to remember. So it was really embarrassing. They all went around the room trying to figure out a name for me while the teacher was getting class ready, whatever. It was a couple minutes before class. And on the spot...
She wasn't in the room?
No, not yet. So they're going to call me.
That's when the class turns into like
it's
Lord
awful.
of the Flies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, hey, why don't we call him Four Eyes? Because I wore glasses back then, and then someone came up with Howdy Doody.
Oh, that's not a good one.
great.
The Howdy Doody and Anthony show. I don't like that at all.
And then
that wouldn't have worked.
And then someone came up with Will Robinson from Lost in Space. I'm like, oh, this stinks. And then someone said Opie, and it just everyone lauged, and I'm like, oh god.
There it was.
But for some reason, it just stuck, and I was stuck with the name. You know, people, even though I didn't want the name, but when you're walking around junior high and high school, it's too late. They're gonna call you what they want, and it just became part of who I am.
Yeah, but once.
Well, the way to get rid of a nickname is if people start calling you that, you got to go, stop calling me that. It bothers me.
Right. Then they
it
just
always
stop.
works. They just leave it alone. They'll understand.
It just became my name. I can't explain it. And then I started doing radio. Actually, I started with the name Greg Opie Hughes. This is Greg Opie Hughes. And then I had a PD in Rochester, WCMF, and Stan Main, and he's like, hey, man, Greg Hughes is a good radio name, and Opie's could be a good radio name, so you got to choose. And at that point, I thought Opie was more catchy than having Greg Hughes. So
how about Spuds? That would have been good.
Shut up.
Buckley.
Shut up.
It's a good one.
There's no tapes that exist of that character.
We're looking.
All right, Chris, anything else? You've taken up about 10 minutes of our time.
Yeah, really.
I'm sorry. I told you I didn't want to do that. Just I'll close with I had an idea for a celebrity song, dead celebrities and what they could sing.
Yeah.
I wanted so bad to do something with Jane Mansfield, and I just couldn't come up with anything. But I did come up with the 1985 Challenger crew singing Dust in the Wind.
Finally.
It took 10 minutes to get to your car crash.
He was weaving. That was like one of those wildest police videos where the drunk is weaving and you think he's going to hit the tree 20 times and then he finally does.
He finally does. All right, Chris, thanks you.
Guys.
We got Snapman from Whackbag, of course. I was at the Big Apple convention. The big celebrity there was Karen Lynn Gorney. Now, do you remember who she was?
Sure.
Karen Lynn Gorney?
Yeah, of course.
You know Jim?
Yeah, me and Jimmy know.
Of course he doesn't. Of course you don't.
I do.
Of course. Jimmy, tell him.
Karen Lynn Gorney, she actually invented the thing that carries sick people in the hospital.
The Gorney?
Yes. Well,
Gorney.
I can't believe you're so stupid, Jimmy. Tell him, Anthony.
She was Stephanie in Saturday Night Fever.
Of course, see?
Remember the one that
You're dumb, Jim.
danced
no,
with?
no.
Let's go to Hollywood from Whackbag. Hollywood.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's up, Jim?
Hi, Hollywood.
Nothing much. Hey, I've been to like countless conventions, like anime conventions, Comic-Con conventions. Some of the big guests include Billy D. Williams.
That's a big one. Billy D. Williams is a big one.
Virgil from the WWE. You remember he was $1 Million Man's bodyguard.
God, really? Yeah,
I
Virgil.
Everything. What happened was that he was hitting on my the chick I was with right there. He was hitting on her all day, and I was about to whoop his ass.
Yeah, sure you are.
Yeah, that's what they get at these conventions. Guys that are known for one stupid thing for a moment, and that's what they live with the rest of their lives.
Here's one for Anthony. DeForest Kelly. He looked like he was about to die, though.
Who, Bones?
No, that was Scotty, wasn't it?
No, that's Bones.
Yeah, who is Scotty? Scotty's real name is Pete.
Pete.
Oh, it was Scotty anyway.
James Doohan.
I'm sorry if I named off the wrong guy, but it was Scotty anyway.
Scotty, and he looked pretty bad?
Oh, he looked awful, man. You just looked like they were about to raise.
Is Scotty dead yet?
No, but he is retired from public appearances, which means the time is coming.
Oh, yeah. He's got the Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah, he didn't look good the last time I saw him on TV.
That's got to be rough.
That must be embarrassing. Doddering old fool. You're trying to get a signature. He's putting the wrong name on it.
You know who's at every single show that I go to? Lou Ferrigno. Every single show that I go to.
Great. Maybe someday he'll call in.
Yeah, did he ever explain why he didn't call in?
No.
I thought it was silly that Lou Ferrigno was calling our show while we were broadcasting from Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
The loudest place on earth.
What?
He has an impediment having ass.
All right, thanks, Hollywood. Wow, this show slowed way the fuck down. Oh, my Lord.
Well, that's because we kept that goddamn guy on the phone for 20 fucking subjects. Jesus Christ, he put the goddamn brakes on the show.
No, well, no one else
Should have been dumped right after the first segment he had. Bam!
Right.
Well, we're trying to find that Linda Blair thing because it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's all right.
And Eric's running around the office like crazy trying to find it. I thought we'd do a little delay tactic.
Here he comes.
I thought we'd go to the phones and get a couple interesting phone calls.
That guy overstayed his welcome, though.
Yeah, I agree.
He definitely overstayed his welcome.
I agree. All right, why don't we take a quick break then? And
I understand that Mitch Beck is making an appearance at one of the clubs. Is that true?
One of the comedy clubs?
Yeah.
What a tool.
I wanted to throw in a yesterday reference.
Any news from him or anything? No, nothing?
He's done. Let's let him go back to obscurity.
Obscurity.
We have fun with these people. We bat them around a little bit, and then we let them go. Because they think they're going to get famous because we mentioned them on our show. Stupid people.
Were you in the Guinness Book of World Records for the asteroid thing? Or?
No. They mentioned that in the article, but I think it was incorrect.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I did battle those little...
Did you guys ever try to set a Guinness Book record there?
I tried to.
Yeah.
It's close.
Our junior high, I'm trying to remember what could you get this out, Eric?
Hawk?
I'm trying to remember the details, but we tried to set a record for flying like the smallest kite or something.
Yuck.
In junior high, and it was a big deal. It took months, and finally got like a representative from Guinness Book of World Records to actually come out to the junior high school and
measure the kite.
And the whole class got that period off to come to the field, and they measured the kite. It was all official and stuff, and
it didn't fly.
Oh, of course not.
What, didn't they test it?
It was this huge build-up, and you got the guy there. I guess there's representatives all over the world. I don't even know how that works. But we got him to come to the actual school, saying this is going to work, and everyone's excited.
Didn't they test the kite?
They're taking their lunch in the middle of the track and stuff. And
before the guy gets there? See if it actually works?
And it was just like seeing anyone else try to fly a kite in a park that doesn't know what they're doing. And
man.
And we tried it over, not me personally, I guess there was a crew and stuff. And they tried it over and over again, and after
people snapping pictures.
Oh yeah, and after each attempt, it was just looking, pretty bad, and like
Guinness guy is like looking at his watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
what dorks?
Yeah, there's a guy with like 1 foot long toenails. I gotta see.
Right.
Oh, how embarrassing.
String with a stamp on the end of it running. Fly kite!
Right. I forget how small the damn thing was. But
how embarrassing.
They're trying all sorts of tails and
You're
stuff.
You're probably all smiling like, here he comes, here he is.
And then then the school was trying to save face, so they took it out of the students' hands, and now the teachers are trying to fly it. They're trying to do anything possible. This was our big moment, and
that was it.
And we blew it.
Big moment to shine.
All right, before we go to break, we have another version of the Tom Cruise thing.
Oh, yeah?
With the squirting in the face of the water gun and all that.
News.
I guess there's more audio that finally has been released. So let's go to it now.
Come here. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Not very funny. Please.
No, it's okay. No, wait 1 second. What's so funny about that? That's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? Is that it? Is that you like doing mean things to people?
The embarrassed prankster tried to walk away, but Tom wasn't through with him yet.
Hey, no. Don't run away. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't run away. No, let the camera go on. I don't care. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk.
I'm here giving you an interview.
And you do something nasty. You're a jerk. Whoa.
I'm giving you an interview. This is your special day.
And he gave himself away, though, because he said, he was talking about Katie, he said, make sure the beard didn't get wet.
A new angle on that thing.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those puzzles that you give to people. A puzzle question. How did Tom Cruise get squirt in the face with water, yet his beard didn't get wet? Solve the puzzle.
How could
she was standing 50 yards away.
How could he be straight? His last name is Cruz. People are wondering about his relationship with Fred Glory Hole.
I guess Paul Azan mentioned the show last night, our show, because of the Tom Cruise thing, because they're doing a whole thing. You know how they have to take the story and just keep building it and looking at it from every angle. Well,
of course.
I guess CNN did a piece on other things that have happened in public with reporters and stuff like that, and of course they showed our Arthur Chien thing, supposedly. I haven't seen it myself, but a couple people emailed me on that.
Her husband was the head of the board in that bird building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that awful crow, whatever it was.
Oh,
all right.
I hate to bring up Mitch Beck again, but some enterprising young man seems to have purchased MitchBeck.com.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's punch it up for Opie there so he could take a look at how some young go-getter has purchased his name. It's a big cock and ball uniform that some guy's wearing. It says, "Hi, I'm Mitch Beck." Oh, is that awful?
That's just wonderful.
That is really funny.
That'll happen.
Let's go to Greg in Maryland. Greg?
Morning, guys. How you doing today?
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, I actually spoke with Mr. Beck yesterday.
You did?
And under the guise of being a reporter doing a story, he doesn't listen to your show. He told me that he has been inundated with so many calls and emails Friday and Monday that his office has been shut down. He can't get any work done, and he's going to sue.
All right.
Well, have fun with that, Mitch.
There you go. Little update.
All right.
Punching out.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, buddy.
Great.
All right, why don't we take a break, finally?
All righty.
We didn't find the Linda Blair thing? Blair? No? All right, we got the Siskel and Ebert outtakes, and I think... Are we talking to him next? Are we talking to him,
Who
or
is
is
he?
he just a fan? Who are you?
Who is he?
Is he a fan?
Yeah. Who's that kid with the good smile?
Listener from out of town.
All right.
Oh, all right.
Who now just dropped by? Is that what we do now?
Yeah, that's the new thing.
Is that it? Live studio audience of one?
Well, Opal just say that to people, like, as he's walking by. Yeah, come by, say hello. And for them, it means a lot, and they come by and say hello.
Do you do that still?
No,
I used
really
to do
don't.
that. I used to do that.
I haven't done that in a while.
Now they go, could I come by? Now I've taken the tack of directly confronting you listeners out there and saying exactly how I feel in a very nasty tone, but to make it look like I'm just goofing.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable to me as I stand next to you at the appearance.
Yeah.
Some guy tries to shake Anthony's
my hand, and
I
I recoil and go, don't even. I don't shake hands. And the guy's like, oh, all right, cool, man, like the bit. Like, yeah, no, it's cool, it's cool. And then I don't shake his hand.
Right.
But I got away from shaking his hand without having to go, well, I don't. And now people go, dude, is it okay if I stop by? I go, are you insane? No, we don't have people just sit out there and gawk at us, jackass. Hey, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny, see?
I invite a lot of people by, but none of them have balls and cocks.
See?
None of them. They're all young ladies.
Young ladies.
Absolutely.
That must pay an admission fee to come in.
yeah, that's right.
All right. As we go to break.
Leave your dignity at the door. Step through.
Admission, one dignity.
That's right. One lifetime of shame coming up.
As we go to break, Richard Cheese doing Shit Dick.
No.
Getting a lot of requests for this little thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better for me. It's always important to take a good song and give it that lounge style. We hate all shit dicks. 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 Andy Warhol. Shit dick Mick Jagger. Shit dick Michael Jackson. Child molester and shit dick, allegedly. Jeffrey Dahmer. Cannibal. Shit dick. Butt slamming shit dicks. Rock Hudson shit dick. Liberace shit dick. Jim Neighbors shit dick. Robert Englund. Freddy Krueger shit dick. Fist fucking shit dick. We hate the fucking shit dicks. The fucking shit dicks. Fuck those shit dicks. Thank you, shit dicks.
chick. I'll be here all
Wow, the highlight of the week right
Nice
there.
job, boys. Thank you.
Bravo. Richard Cheese in the band.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Holiday virus.
I don't know. You know what? Why don't we just move right to Wang Chung?
All right.
Wang Chung. Everybody have fun tonight. We all remember this.
What a big fun hit this was. It took forever. There you go. Have fun, Wang Chung.
Everybody Wang Chung. What does that mean, though? Did anyone ever figure that out?
It means having fun. Wang Chung.
I think Wang is a euphemism for sodomize, and Chung was maybe a retarded boy they knew in the neighborhood. That was their idea.
Everybody, Wang Chung tonight. We're all gonna Wang Chung.
Everyone have butt sex with a retard.
Poor Chung.
I never thought of it that way.
Just want his friends to come over and hug him and talk to him. Instead, he'd wind up face first crying into a Cookie Monster pillow.
What's the matter, Chung?
They wang me. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Who wang you? Everybody.
And they have fun doing it. Old Bloody Bottom. Chung throws a punch like he takes it in the ass.
Oh. Even on vacation, across the nation, around the world, everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Some guy even drove 1,000,000 miles to fuck that tempting bottom.
Didn't even keep it a secret. Spread the word. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Oh, there's a line of cars like at the end of Field of Dreams. All waiting. Put it in his sword. Took us.
Jesus. We're supposed to be laughing at this.
Oh, poor innocent bottom.
Little Chung.
Oh, he's just confused. He wants friends. Sheepish dope.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
Jimmy, a lot of phone calls coming in. I just want to acknowledge this instead of going to the phones for this. Everyone's saying you killed in Dallas at the Improv.
Thank you, people, for coming.
Jim killed at Addison Improv. There you go. Another one coming in from Brian.
Did you put it that way? Killed in Dallas. Brings up bad memories, doesn't it?
One of my favorite days that we had in Dallas was when Jimmy and we were hanging out at Dealey Plaza there.
Yeah, it was great. Taking pictures on the X.
And just watching all the nuts getting their pictures taken and stuff.
Big tourist attraction.
Can I just I had to add a date. I added some seats in D.C. I didn't add a date, so the show was sold out, and now the seats have been added. They reconfigured it because the Leno thing helped.
You got a sold-out show down there?
It was sold out. Yeah, the tickets were done, and they reconfigured it and added like an extra 100 seats.
Nice.
Because I couldn't get regular radio down there.
Ooh.
Because Elliot did want to have me on.
Yeah, Elliot's got to lighten the fuck up. He's been a fan of our shows forever. Our show forever. He used to do radio in New York. And we made fun of him because we were listening into his program when Voss was on.
Yeah.
And I know the guy does okay radio. He's making a name for himself down there. But we noticed that he laughs really, 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 like, what's the word? Just
is that what he got
awful.
mad at?
It must be. It's
laughter.
An awful laugh that's borderline fake. And he laughs a lot and does the same laugh through his show. So, we point out the obvious on the show. We smash each other.
Mm-hmm.
We smash each other's crutches and stuff. So we pointed out on the program that his laugh has got to go. It's just awful. And I guess he's taking it personally. And now, he used to do his show every time he went down to D.C.
No, I never met him.
Oh,
No. I wanted to try, because I obviously I'm not going to do any DC shows. So I don't know who the guy is. I never met him. I listened to the audio. I'm like, did I say anything really stupid? Because sometimes I have a big mouth, but there was nothing.
See, all right. I thought you did his show already.
No.
He has all our other friends on, is what I guess what we're getting at,
so
right?
I know it's a popular show down there. I was wondering, and my agent called and like, nah, we're going to pass. We're not going to do it. So it's like, ugh. What are you fucking mad that I poked a little fun at you? And I listened to the audio. It wasn't even vicious.
Maybe not. Maybe he's... I don't know. Maybe we're kind of competing against him now. We're competing against the entire country at this point.
Whatever.
It's us against commercial radio.
Just annoying.
We're coming to get you.
Devil. But I just didn't... what's the problem? You know I can't do other stations down there. Can't do any JFK. Because fucking fat dick breath and his awful partner rule JFK, so even shows that like us can't have us on down there.
Yeah, whatever. They'll all get theirs in the end. Ooh. By golly. Siskel and Ebert, Anthony, finally?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to get the show back on track here. Having a fine program, though.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Siskel and Ebert, outtakes.
Mm-hmm. This was done, obviously, years ago, because Siskel is dead. This was Ebert's previous partner, and still when Ebert was big and fat. And they would do these promos. They would have to tape promos for upcoming shows. And you hear them do the promo, but in between, they're just miserable sons of bitches that are ragging each other. The writers, who's ever writing their promotion copy, anything. They just come off as real miserable guys.
All right, here's the first track.
Last week?
No,
this
it's
is
not. Don't worry about it.
I know, he was wearing a brown sweater.
This is not the part that's supposed to match, Slick. Give it a moment's thought. What are we doing now? The promos. Do you know what they have to match? Nothing. No promo ever has to match anything.
I thought we were about to do...
Welcome to the exciting world of television. A wholly new field for you to begin to learn in.
Well spoken, Roger.
Well, that's something that you rarely hear. Compliments really paid to you. Gene Hackman and Kevin Costner in the Pentagon thriller No Way Out.
That's this week on Siskel and Ebert.
You sounded very jaded.
You sounded
what a dick.
Very jaded.
You can tell he's just a dick.
He just sits there and he said, "Well spoken, Roger," and he goes, "Yeah, that's the compliment you'll never hear." Like, because the guy can't talk. For some reason, Siskel is mumbles. I think that tumor was growing in his head as this was being taped because he goofs on him about how he can't speak. He cannot. He's all mumble mouth, tripping over words.
87, that must have been. That's when the movie came out, I believe.
Oh, was that it? Yeah.
No Way Out, sure.
Oh, good one.
David, stop touching me.
2 thrillers this week on Siskel and Ebert. First, we'll review Michael Caine and Pierce Brosnan in The Fourth Protocol.
And then Gene Hackman and Kevin Costner star in No Way Out. And we have a third thriller, too, if you're interested. What do you mean, 2 thrillers? They left out The Big Easy.
They only review 2 movies in every promo. So they picked those 2.
Why? Why those?
I don't know why. I didn't pick them. Ask the person that picked them.
Okay. The Big Easy.
I think they probably went for star names.
It's this nitpicking that's going on between the two of them. They hate each other.
Yeah.
They hate doing this.
Ebert hates that he likes to soak his Doritos before he eats them. he hates that Roger Siskel fucking whatever their names are, fuck them. Fatso and Stemless.
Siskel's got a head full of soaked Doritos. Like a little chip bowl for him. Oh, man.
Just saying the name The Big Easy without any people involved means nothing. It means nothing.
Randy Quaid, is he a star?
Dennis Quaid. Close.
Dennis Quaid.
No.
Okay, read it this way then. Read it this way. How about, why does this always have to be lockstep? How about something like this? It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert, and we've got 3 big ones. And then 3 one-liners. Dennis Quaid in The Big Easy, Michael Caine in The Fourth Protocol, so-and-so in No Way Out. That's a better promo. Okay. Ready?
I guess you're going to do it.
We have to rewrite it, don't we? Because you can't.
Oh, no,
You can't ad-lib, Gene.
Can we do for the last week, and next week we'll do it, next year we'll do it next year?
No, every week counts.
You read it then. You ad-lib it. I'll do nothing. Let him do whatever he wants. This is going to be today's
That's why
theme.
I think we ought to write it into the...
No, let him do it.
Why don't we just have Gene say it's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert. Roger does the...
I think I'd like to have it written on the monitor if that's okay.
For yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
So you start at the top, okay?
Pause, Don.
Start at the top? Or make a new one, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
They cannot stand each other.
Of course he can't ad-lib. He's got 1 inch of room in there for brain.
No ad-libbing coming out of that pudding skull.
4 plus 4 is...
Better ad-libs out of a plate of chopped meat.
Also a more solid structure.
Well, we have more outtakes from the guys. Siskel and Ebert. This one, Ebert is telling Gene that he needs more energy.
It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
Got to have energy up and the movies out.
Why don't you read both parts?
I'd like to. Get your
I know
energy
that.
up, please. Please get your energy up.
I can't read the top line. There we go. Okay. It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
Dennis Quaid in The Big Easy, Michael Caine in The Fourth Protocol, and Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman in No Way Out.
That's this week on Siskel and Ebert and the movies.
Sound a little excited, Gene.
Sound less excited, Roger.
Fuckface. Wow.
Got to hear that part again.
And Ebert and the movies.
Sound a little excited, Gene.
Sound less excited, Roger. That's why we're redoing it, because of what you did. It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert at the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
And the movies, not at the movies. And that's why we're doing it this time.
Come on.
Damn, these guys hate each other.
Dude, come on. They hate
great.
each other. They hated each other.
I love this behind-the-scenes audio from celebrities.
Because you watch the show, and they're all like, oh, come on, Gene, that was a good movie. I thought, and they're all, it's all good-natured back and forth. But, underlying there is just this, fuck you, shut up, I hate you. Great stuff.
Well, in general, you don't like a person that has a different opinion than you.
Is that it?
So you think it's bubbling under the surface the whole time.
Just kind of bubbling.
When one of them says, this movie's so good, and the other one's like, it's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's got to bother you inside.
Yeah, but it goes so much deeper with these guys. They don't like each other. They honestly don't like each other.
We're redoing this because of your flub. Now it's because of your flub.
Because of you.
What babies.
Yeah.
It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
Dennis Quaid in The Big Easy, Michael Caine in The Fourth Protocol, and Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman in No Way Out.
That's this week on Siskel and Ebert and the movies. And the asshole.
Great. That was great.
And that's Roger.
Oh, shit. And the asshole, and that's Roger. Siskel and Ebert and the movies? Why would they call it that?
He doesn't.
Is it at the movies?
It's supposed to be
Siskel
at the movies.
and Ebert at the movies.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, we got a little more here.
The science fiction thriller RoboCop.
This week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies. This week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, the science fiction adventure RoboCop.
Do that again.
Very funny, Donna, and you're my friend. That's the last time you'll ever enter my home.
You know that Virgin speech is a second language?
Roger's first language is, yes, I'll have apple pie with my order.
Now they just get into a little tiff.
Yeah.
Language?
Roger's first language is, yes, I'll have apple pie with my order. He asked the McDonald's girls if he can have apple pie with their order before they ask him.
And you know what Gene says when he goes into McDonald's? Can I have apple with their order?
Roger is the only guy in the history to ever answer yes to every question he's asked at McDonald's. Want some salad with your apple pie? Want some French fries with your salad? Want some hamburger with your French fries? Want some shake with your...
Want some shake? Want some shake? I knew Gene...
Anything.
I knew Gene couldn't sustain that string for long without a grammatical
I don't
error.
know how many items there are, but they've worked him through the whole fucking menu.
Right.
He set a record.
Gene was in the other
set a
day.
record. He ordered every fucking thing they have. He ordered a cone and a sundae.
Now, the other day, Gene was in there, and the little girl said to him, would you like some French fries with your order? And Gene's answer was, no, maybe. Other. Yeah, no. Never mind. And then he walked out.
Oh, they said, you know what they said? They saw Roger walking in, and they said, one of everything to go, and one of everything to stay here.
When they saw Gene walking in with a little kid behind the counter, called for the manager and said, Mr. Jones, can you come out here? You can understand Mr. Siskel, can't you? I can't ever understand him when he's ordering. All right, what will you have, sir?
That didn't sound good. Old tumor. I thought the same thing when he was coughing. I go, uh-oh, that's not good. God damn. That is funny.
All right, what will you have, sir?
That's foreshadowing right there.
That's the Don Corleone in the garden cough.
Stop! You're spilling my brain. Death rattle.
Gravitate in a plant and fall over, movie critic.
All right, what will you have, sir? Pounder quarter.
Pounder quarter.
Quarter pounder. Cheese. No cheese. Cheese. No cheese.
They asked Roger, do you want cheese with your cheeseburger? He said, yes.
Shake milk. Shake milk.
Jesus, way to rip. That is awful.
This whole stinks.
His brain is smoking at this point, trying to fight the tumor, trying to ad-lib.
Apparently he had funny bone cancer.
Yes. Shake milk. Shake milk. Shake milk. Shake milk.
Oh, geez, that don't sound good.
What would you like? He goes to Burger King. What would you like on it, sir? The following.
They asked Roger what they
I'll have the following. And another thing. Pickle.
They asked Roger what they'd like on his burger. He says, salad, cherry pie, and a Coke. On the burger.
With all due respect.
He's getting trounced.
With all due respect.
By the fat one.
I know.
Come on.
Let's do this. We have one more to do.
There we go. This week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, the science fiction adventure RoboCop.
Then they just go into the promo.
Yeah, we got one more clip from Siskel and Ebert.
A lot of burger jokes, these two hacks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they were cracking everyone up on set, though.
Oh, that awkwardness, because they're like shitting on each other.
And this fat fuck, he orders everything. I have a headache.
And when Roger orders a burger, he wants one of everything. Yeah, when Siskel orders a burger, he wants the drain clogged with hair. Shame. Oh, clogged drain.
Jesus. All right, here we go.
He said Doer, of course.
Doer Straits. That's what that favorite band.
That's what that whole goddamn culture drinks to death. All those wasps.
Wasps.
You know, they don't get enough shit, basically, wasps. They don't.
They're called yuppies now.
They run the goddamn country, and all of our... I'm speaking to everyone who's eavesdropping right now. They
don't run the whole goddamn country, Gene. What about the international bankers?
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the Vatican.
No. I'm talking about they run...
And the commies.
No. They run the country. The wasps run the country, and all of us should band together and overthrow them, and there could be...
You probably think our president is a wasp. You think our president is a wasp, don't you?
No, he's not a wasp.
He isn't because he's Irish, so he's Celtic. You know that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. They're all Protestants. They've all been Protestants. You know that. We have to do this. Okay, here we go. Come on, band together, people. Let's overthrow the country.
Protestants, people who sort of want a religion. Let's stick together. The Catholics and the fucking Jews. We go back a few years together.
Come on.
Hey,
we're real. We get down and get dirty.
We were burning each other when Martin Luther was only a gleam in his mother's eye.
I'll take a Baptist. I go back 6,000 years. I want Baptist. I mean, somebody that has some goddamn passion, some blood coursing through their veins.
Case closed.
Anything.
Right. Goddamn Protestants. Biggest thing that happens for them on Sunday is a bake sale.
No, they got to decide what color yellow tie to fucking buy.
That's right.
Okay, gentlemen,
He's right.
Gee, what should it be, lime green or dark green today, honey?
Right. The only fucking religion that has the Reader's Digest is a prayer book.
Wow.
They don't get enough shit, and they have all the money. They have all the money.
They only last.
All those guys they're all running Northern Trust. They have all the banks on LaSalle Street. It's all horseshit.
The only time Protestants get on their knees is to adjust the fucking TV set.
They have all the goddamn insurance companies. They have all the insurance companies. They run the government. They run everything.
You're right.
Okay, tape is rolling, and here we go. Stand by, please. Stand by. Here we go.
Steve Martin's new comedy Roxanne.
This week on Siskel and Ebert and the movies. You said it a little too fast.
No, I think we were too long. We were, yeah.
Well, then it's going to have to be Siskel and Ebert. Back it up a little bit.
Back up, please. Stand by.
Steve Martin in Roxanne.
New comedy, I think you're saying. That's right.
Steve Martin's new comedy. Oh, fuck.
Now get your energy up. Steve Martin's new comedy, Roxanne.
I already shot my wad on the Protestants.
And there you have it.
Sounded like he was talking about the Jews. Protestants.
Thank God, man.
It was like watching Voss try to argue intelligently.
Oh.
Like when that, Voss is in trouble when that little stiff hand comes out, like he's trying to like hush you so he can get his thoughts together.
Yeah.
The little balloon animal hand.
Oh, it's just awful. You want to just hug him. His birthday party is going to be a bust.
Hey, Sal.
Yeah.
Is it the Sal?
The Sal.
Oh.
What's up, Sal?
Are we in trouble?
Did I do something bad?
Yeah, you only call the show when we're in trouble.
Yep, that's it. Who's this, Opie?
It's Opie and Anthony, and you're on the air, Sal.
Oh, I'm on the air. Okay, got a question. Your bit about his mother playing poker was great.
Uh-oh.
This is...
I got to ask you a question. Wasn't it Father's Day?
Yeah.
How come you never mentioned who won?
Oh, Sal won. I think I did. I said I came in second.
No, I never heard it, and I listened to the whole thing. That was in your mind.
That Sal won. Of course he did. And I got burned on the river is what happened. He got I was winning. The river card came out, and you draw straight on the river. I had it right up until the last card.
It was Father's Day.
And he had to win. We let him win. Actually.
Yeah, because it's Father's Day.
Mommy wasn't mad that I was goofing on her poker prowess?
No, not at all. She thought it was very funny.
Did you tell her the next day how awful she played?
No, I think she understands that. She doesn't want to play that game anymore.
Yeah, until she has a couple of spritzes, and then she's all in.
Yeah.
Get some money out. She's playing 7 deuce offsuits, saying she had a great hand.
She would have ran through a bunch of money if we let her keep buying in.
I know. Is she there?
Eventually, she would have won.
Is she there, Sal?
Yeah.
Put her on the phone. Let me talk to my mommy.
Okay.
I invented this. Tell him, Fred. She's got to.
I got to go to the bathroom. Hold on.
Is your mom taking a dump?
What I go through? Mom's not taking a dump.
You're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, Mommy.
Hey, Anthony.
How are you doing?
Okay, good.
Did you feel good after Father's Day?
Did I feel good? Oh, yeah, I was all right.
You weren't a little hungover?
Just a little.
A little bit?
Yeah, nothing,
Now, you recall the poker game.
Yes.
You are the worst poker player I've ever played with.
But I don't like that game. I like real poker.
It's Texas Hold'em. It's real poker.
Okay, the original poker. Because that one, what's the sense if you lose, you can't even stay in the game?
Yeah, it's like elimination. You bought in 2 more times.
I know, but why can't I buy in more times if I want?
But don't you realize the reason you have to buy in so many times is because you're really bad at it?
Yeah, well, I do that at regular poker, too. So.
Yeah, but you were playing, you would play a 7 deuce, and then the flop would come out, and there'd be all face cards, and you would stay in.
But so what?
So what? The object of the game is to have the best hand or be able to, bluff that you have the best hand. You were doing neither.
Okay.
She was just having fun, Anthony.
I have to learn. I'm glad Opie understood.
Of course. It's Father's Day. It's a festive occasion. She just
serious about the gambling, Anthony.
Yeah, she just wants to have fun.
Way too serious. Who's at the 3-card poker table on the cruise? The second dessert gets served. You.
But that's 3 card poker. That's a great game.
It really is. You don't have to do anything. You just sit there and watch.
Mindless, exactly. You sit there, you usually just you win or lose. You don't have to
Hey,
play cards, nothing.
hey, Mommy, could you just sing us a little a cappella,
no, because it's too early in the morning and my voice isn't opened up.
Sing us some Janis Joplin.
No.
Come on.
Okay. Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?
You're going to do it all day?
What?
Right, there she goes, sounding like Siskel. Uh-oh. No, this woman's a health nut.
I
She's
love
ridiculous.
Anthony's mom.
All right, Mommy, dearest.
Okay.
Well, that was a lot of fun the other night.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a good time, too.
And I'll see you soon.
Okie dokie.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you, too, honey.
Bye.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Bye.
That's my mommy.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I always get nervous when Sal calls the program.
I think it's going to be something bad.
It's always bad when Sal calls the program.
It was bad one time, that's for sure.
I think one time he called and actually threatened our lives.
Yeah.
Why? It was a little
that
strange.
was really bad.
Considering he's married to Anthony's mom, but he still threatened our lives.
Well, I had brought up...
don't even go there.
I'll say what it was, because it wasn't the fact that it was brought up. It was the fact that how far it went, and, listeners started chiming in and stuff like that. It was just, and it was well before my mother and Sal had met. It was just, my mother, she was divorced for, a couple of years at that point, and she was dating. It's the dating mom.
Jimmy, you want coffee? I'm going to go get some.
No, I'm good.
She was the dating. I think a lot of guys growing up in their teens that are of divorced parents have to deal with the dating mom. And that's, something you got to deal with.
Sal, if you're still listening, I'm separating myself from the bit. I'm going to get coffee.
That's all I was saying. It was, but, most people that have the dating mom, it's some schlep that she's bringing home when she's dating. But my mom would bring home members of the New York Mets and the New York Jets. So,
really?
Not at the same time. Just a couple of, She liked football and baseball players. That's all. So the stupid listeners went through a whole thing where they were trying to guess who she was dating.
La, 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 I'm not listening.
And they were getting a little nasty, and Sal didn't appreciate it. That's all. No, not Eddie Kranepool.
Eddie Kranepool.
Stupid Eric's bringing up like...
Bob Apataka?
Oh, stop it.
This
That's
coffee
all.
is really good. What were you talking about,
It's
Anthony?
innocent enough.
Yeah, sure it is. Let's go to Brian in D.C. Brian.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to call up. I got a celebrity song.
Yeah.
Gene Siskel, always on my mind.
Not bad. Let's go to Nick in Montana. Nick?
Hey, Owen.
Hey.
Hey, little Jizz Eye. I'd like to hear Siskel sing Lump by the Presidents of the United States. And one more, if you'll let me.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear Eazy-E rap Disturbed Down with the Sickness.
AIDS.
AIDS.
All right. That's right. Yeah. AIDS. He's trying to sound like down with the sickness. Oh, shit. AIDS.
Yeah, we had it, Ralph.
All right, we're going to step aside and take another break.
Right.
What do we still have to do today on the show? We got that guy from Giant Magazine coming in to talk movies.
What? Who?
What the Richard Dormant from Giant Magazine. I love this new magazine, Giant. I really do.
Do we have a copy of it here? I haven't seen it.
Katie Holmes is on the cover, but that issue's been out for a long time.
Enough.
What? What?
A copy of the magazine.
Well, how about somebody brings a copy of the magazine so we can go
in
over
here?
it?
What's it doing in the office?
Toot sweet.
You're making all sorts of signs, and I'm like, what?
I'm not making. What signs you making, Kevin?
In the office.
That's wonderful, but I can't go there and get it now.
Yeah, we're on the air. I'm called an on-air personality.
All right, well,
who did that? Jimmy.
It was very important that Big Kev told me that the magazine's in the office.
All right.
So the magazine is in the office, and we need to know that. Why?
Yes. Is that where the remainder of that beard is?
And no John from Freeport. Mookie Wilson was never in my house.
Holy crap!
Mookie Wilson. Mookie. Bunch of smartasses.
Trust me, there hasn't been a Mookie close to your house.
No.
In many years.
No, please. That's where I get it from. My mother. She's softened in her age, but in the old days, she could throw out an N-bomb like the champ, like a real Italian. I used to hear it as I grew up with the, oh, Mom, could you get me this or something? And I'd get the old, what do I look, 3 shades darker than you? It was always fun. But it was the time, the times were different back then. 1930. That's how it goes.
All right.
Thanks, Ben. Ben brought me Giant Magazine. How appropriate.
It looks the same size as any other magazine. That's not a Giant magazine. Stop it. Giant Hog brought you Giant Magazine?
On the front page, it's Ben's jeans. Wow, look, it's the new issue of Freakishly Delicious. Bring that blessing from God in here.
Oh, brother. Hey, remember we were talking about funerals and stuff yesterday?
Yes.
Got a lot of feedback on that, by the way. People
Real
really
up intro to the show yesterday.
Yeah, but we kind of made it fun in
a
strange way, and the listeners really enjoyed it, and the feedback was huge on that bit. Remember we were talking about Penn and Teller did a whole show on their bullshit program about funerals and stuff?
Yep.
Well, we got some clips. They're quick and easy, and, I
like that show, Bullshit.
It'll explain a lot of the stuff that we were talking about yesterday, matter of fact.
I think they managed to make it a little biased toward their own point of view. It's supposed to be an expose, unbiased on certain industries and stuff, and they really pick it apart. But the way they present people, and believe me, the people do a good enough job of making themselves look really silly, but I think it's done in editing also, and the way they're presented,
they do that in TV?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
They're presented as lunatics before you hear 2 words out of their mouth.
Right.
So, they're doing a little bit of it also. They're trying to expose this whole thing, but they're using the same tactics and techniques to get their point across.
Eric, what does this mean?
That's what's in the background.
That's what's in the background of this clip we're about to hear?
Sound effects. Yeah.
Sound effect of caskets in a wood chipper? All right, thanks.
A big difference between humans and animals like little Bun Bun here is that animals don't fret about what happens to them after they're dead. They're interested in staying alive. Bun Bun here doesn't even know enough to care what happens to him after death because he doesn't even know he's gonna die. Humans don't just try to stay alive. We worry about what happens to our dead bodies. We stick our marinated meat in caskets that cost as much as cars, and we stash our ashes in marble urns and mausoleums. Some people even sell themselves the idea that death is just an illusion, that we'll all come back and everything will be just like it used to be. Now Bun Bun knows the answer to life's great mystery. But while he was alive, he had the right idea. Living is what matters, and the rest be bullshit.
I still haven't seen the show.
It's a good show.
I know, it gets good reviews, huh?
Definitely.
All right, let's go to the next clip here.
One of the funeral industry's most lucrative tricks is selling expensive caskets with huge markups. Okay, if we were 60 Minutes, we'd have a better sound guy.
They'll have 2 or 3 low-price caskets that really don't look good and maybe even a little damaged. They put them in a dark corner, and then they only put the more expensive caskets are better lit, and they're shown in a way that encourages the consumer to buy them. It's no different than going to a car dealership.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Well, you got to place your good product where people are going to see
pretty much say
stuff
like, if you didn't really care about your loved one, I guess we got these in the back.
That's what it says.
Johnny, bring them to the back, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could choose these as well.
Yeah.
They're not even lit up or anything. And
take the uncaring ingrates in the back.
Right, exactly. They play off your emotions like it's not tough enough going through, what you're going through.
Nearly every family is ripped off by nearly every mortician in every community in the U.S.
Fuck.
That's all he has to say after that.
Yeah.
It's no different. Death is just another way to make money for somebody. It's
business.
It's business.
To hear someone say to you, do you want the $500 standard plain casket, or do you want the eternal love model that we have for $5,000? That's wrong to do that to someone who's emotionally fragile.
Morticians were making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on caskets that wholesaled for less than $1,000.
Wow. So the going rate is $1,000, and then they pump them up to $4,000 or $5,000. Get the Gene Simmons one, the Kiss one. Yeah.
How much is that?
Probably $10,000. Gene will come to your funeral.
I'll see him this Friday. I'll talk to him about it.
Oh, you will?
Well, I'm one of the judges at Babe Fest, and Gene will be there, so maybe I'll talk to him at the coffee.
Is he going to be a judge?
He's the host.
So he's hosting. You're a judge. Now, are you going to be allowed in the same room with this asshole?
Yeah, because
you're going to take a picture with this shithead?
Gene, yes.
Last we left this bid, you hate Gene Simmons.
I didn't hate him. I was just
I didn't hate him. Play the tape.
Yeah,
Play the tape.
I was very wounded. I was hurt.
You were hurt and wounded and rejected.
He was your hero.
Yeah.
Used to, hold you when you were little.
In my mind. The whole band would. Except for Peter and Ace, they wouldn't hold me as much.
No?
What, Gene and Paul?
Gene and Paul would cuddle you.
Ugh.
Make sure you're okay.
The Demon and the Star Child.
Your head resting on Paul Simon's hairy chest. Paul Simon,
yeah,
oh my
Paul
God.
Simon.
Oh my God.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, my God, I did
That's a little different. Gee, that would be gay.
Little Jimmy went down in the schoolyard.
I did not just say that.
That's good.
I'm so confident. Oh, my God.
That's right.
My whole body's getting uncomfortable.
Why?
I'm heating up.
I always love when Garfunkel would sing God of Thunder.
Yeah. Did he love you like a rock, Jimmy? Love you like a rock.
Paul Stanley. Oh, God.
Here's to you, Jimmy Robinson.
When I fuck up, Jimmy's eyes get so big.
Only
gets
because
so excited.
Only because I was about to get a good smashing, so it kind of derailed the smashing. That's always pleasing.
Kiss coffin, $5,000.
That's
5
not bad.
G's? 5 G's to be buried in the Kiss coffin.
The only thing that annoyed me is when Dimebag was killed and we were asking Gene about it, because it was a genuine question. It's like,
right.
Another performer. We weren't goofing on it. I'm not going down that road to make fun of it. It's like, well, no one's making fun of it.
You're just talking about it, jackass. Like, he knows everything before anyone says
That's
it.
what was
He's
irritating.
so smart that he knows where everything's going before it's even said.
Yeah, because nobody was trying to shit on it. It was just an interesting little side fact.
Shut up.
Of course it was. It was in the news and all that.
Tell him he stunk as a judge on American Idol, too.
Did he?
Oh, he's awful.
After he signs the picture we took
pompous.
together, you bet I'll tell him.
Stinks.
Let's go to Mike in California. Mike?
Hey.
Hello.
Mike.
I just cut out for a second. Hey, guys, I used to work across the street from a casket factory in San Francisco, and all of the padding that they use in the caskets, it's made of shredded newspaper. It's not even real padding. We used to complain that the newspaper used to blow up and down the street because they had just vats and vats of shredded newspaper. And then
in San Francisco, do they make the coffins real skinny?
And they make a hole in them too.
A hole in them.
Anyway, but and then the owner of the company used to boast that the casket was about 20% of what the retail cost was, so there was about a 500% markup.
Oh, so underneath all the silk, instead of like nice padding, it was just newspaper.
Shredded newspaper.
That's all you need.
All right, thank you, Mike. This clip is very disturbing, actually.
Some people say, how can I make sure that I get my husband's ashes back if I have him cremated? And I tell them, there's no way. They may be paying some minimum wage people to run the oven, and they may just think it's kind of a joke to mix up bodies.
It's a cool joke.
Like they're playing a gag on you? Like their little joke?
But you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it could happen.
Wow, look at this brainiac. Keith, go ahead.
Hey, I didn't know Paul Simon was in Kiss. I thought it was Paul Stanley. You told?
It's Mr. Late to the Party. Oh, boy, dude.
Wait. Wait, dude. Is he still here?
Yeah, Keith.
What do you mean, Paul? I'm not sure what you mean.
Dumbass said Paul Simon instead of Paul Stanley.
When?
When he said he was going to cuddle Paul Simon on your chest instead of Paul Stanley.
No, but I like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. I'm not sure what you're saying.
No, Opie said he said was Paul Simon going to cuddle you on his hairy chest?
I did not say that. I said Paul Stanley.
No, Opie said it.
But Paul Simon wasn't in Kiss. What are you talking about?
Opie said Paul Simon instead of Paul Stanley.
When?
When he was talking about it, when you were talking about cuddling. If you go back to the tape, it says, Opie says, oh, did Paul Simon put you on his hairy chest, cuddle you on his hairy chest instead of
dude, that's really cool luck considering the fact that we riffed on did Simon and Garfunkel songs for 8 minutes. That was really a lucky break for Ant and I to kind of just have that tied in with Opie's little mistake.
Nice pickup, Keith.
Oh, well, I'm on delay. What do you want?
How long of a delay are you on?
I don't know. Like 6-7 second delay.
Oh, yeah. You tell everyone you're a tool.
Yeah, please.
I'm a tool.
Yeah.
Certainly are.
Thank you.
Punching out.
Punching out.
Punching out.
Crater.
Yeah, why don't you just fall out like a noodle?
He's already in a flaming crater of jet fuel. There's no punching out. You can't punch out after you crash, people. Punching out. No, too late.
Yeah. They're picking you out of the water with a crane.
You're dead, Santini.
A sealer casket has a small rubber gasket around the perimeter of the lid. Once you put a dead guy in one of these, the theory goes, he can't be harmed by anything.
And it costs $200, $300, $500 more than the very same casket without this protective seal.
You're dead, so it's already a stupid idea. But obvious stupid aside, guess what? It doesn't work. Putting the gasket on does absolutely nothing to prevent the ordinary decomposition of the human body.
But they can sell it by saying, you would like to have your loved one protected, wouldn't you?
Protected. From what? They're dead.
Nope.
Protection?
Not that I want to go through that, but I just can't wait to tell the guy, nope.
Nope.
Sorry.
No to everything.
Do you want the gasket, the special gasket? It will seal your loved one from the elements that might make them, you know.
What?
Well, not as fresh as when they were put in, perhaps.
Well, would that be helpful if I want to dig her up and finger her every once in a while?
We do have the diddler's coffin that is just made for this.
It's got like the glove thing that goes in, like when you handle radiation.
In a reactor, you just put your hand in, diddle. A little crusty. Why bother people? Why?
Let's go to Stuart in Virginia. Stuart.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, I'm just curious. Do you guys think when you die you go to heaven, to hell, or what happens to you when you die, besides the fact that you rot?
I think you definitely rot, obviously, and I believe in aliens and UFOs.
What does that have to do with it?
If I'm good, I think I go to heaven and get 72 virgins.
There you go.
72 virgin men?
Yeah, this
no, he's a Muslim.
There's something that happens. We just haven't defined it yet.
That's right.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's it out, guys? Thanks.
I think we go to another planet.
That's supposed to be a thought
Another
provoker?
planet?
Another planet and just continue
How do we
living.
get there?
I don't know.
How do you get there?
Yeah.
Take a spaceship? You got to wear Nikes and cut your balls off?
That's right. Call old Marshall Whiteapple.
Marshall Whiteapple. Wow, very good. You get underneath that purple little blanket, cut your balls off, and take the poison.
That's right. Just lay there cockless with brand new sneaks.
Wait for the comet with the spaceship behind it.
Ready to traipse off into that fun new world with no balls.
Imagine if they're somewhere on some planet behind a comet laughing at us. With no balls, yeah. No balls. Hey, you know, this is really cool. Everything worked out, but there is a downside.
Yes.
I don't have any fucking balls left.
The name of the planet is Married Men.
And this whole heaven and hell thing, like, who just... I mean, obviously God decides, but what if you want to hang out with all your pals in hell? Like, shouldn't I get to decide, like, who I want to hang out with after I die?
A choice you got to make. I'm assuming, in this whole religion thing, that you're not the same person you are now in the afterlife. I don't think you end up going, hey, dude, you know, I loved you on the radio. You know, it's not like... I think if there is anything, you're some friggin' energy source that kind of joins in with other energy sources. I don't think you're this guy in a white sheet going, boo, I was Opie, or, you know. I don't think you have your friends anymore.
Right.
I don't think you have, like, any possessions you want. things like that.
And everyone is treated the same. You know, if the Pope is wherever he is saying, hey, I was the Pope, and everyone else is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. That really wasn't that
Yeah, because then there'd be a hierarchy. Then there'd also be, what happens, you're 18 years old, you get married, your wife dies. You remarry. Now you're madly in love with this other person, and you both die. Now, what happens to the person you were so in love with that died? You finally get up to heaven. That's your and you're going, hey, what do you do, Jim?
I don't know. You probably just notice that your ex has her head bobbing up and down in a black lap. And you're like, well, I'm glad I met someone new.
Look, I'm dead. Betsy's dead. You're dead. What do you say? We all get together. If it's yes, just flutter your wings.
You know, that's why that doesn't quite work out. Like in Titanic, remember that? She dies. Mm-hmm. The old broad dies. She goes back to Titanic. She's all young again. And there's Leonardo DiCaprio at the top of the stairs waiting for her. What about some old guy that she was with later on in life? She wasn't alone the whole time. Hey, what about me, Rose?
Right.
Remember, you said you loved me.
And Leonardo...
I'm back here with this guy.
And you're trying to tell me Leonardo wasn't banging some heavenly ass as he was waiting?
He's sitting looking at that clock for 70 years or whatever the hell it is. Stop it.
He's standing there all horned up, and this bag of meat gets on the ship. He's like, what the fuck happened to you?
Yeah, how come she's not old?
You look like shit. She should be 80. And why'd you throw that thing away? We could have sold that. That's all we had, Karen.
He was going to find it.
I threw it in the ocean, Henry.
He wouldn't have found it.
Yeah, that's stupid Hollywood for you because, Leonardo dies young, leaves as they say, a good-looking corpse.
Yep.
She goes on and lives until she's just a prune.
Oh, she should have come up those stairs like on a walker.
Oh, Jack, I'm back. Oh,
I waited 70 years.
You're an old bag.
We're finally back together.
You're an old hag, and I don't want to have sex with you.
You're kidding.
And Leonardo looks down the stairs, and his words to his loved one.
Yeah.
What happened? You said you left me.
Exactly.
What happened?
Yeah, but Hollywood has to dolly it up and make her all young and hot again. Stop.
Give my condolences to my old nice snatch.
Gone. Gray pubes.
She's walking up the stairs with like a blank canvas so they can reenact the painting.
Paint me again, Jack, like you did 70 years ago.
I don't think I have enough gray paint. Paint that. I need gray, red, and blue for your veins. I don't need any brown for your translucent nipples. How do I know what old ladies' tits look like? That's frightening.
But he would need brown for inside the diaper.
Could you pick your tits up off the floor and put them back on the couch so I could get them all in one shot here?
Wow. Let's go to Bill in New York. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hello, Bill.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. You guys are great. I've been listening to you guys for a lot of years.
All right.
Years ago, I was like 14 years old. My father passed away.
Yeah.
And, we go to the funeral home, make the arrangements, me and my mom. And he didn't have a whole lot of money. But the funeral director's doing his best. We want to get you the most expensive casket. And you want to put him in this vault and this and that and the other things. And all the, the options like you're buying a Cadillac or something like that. Mm. So we, obviously didn't have the money. So we're like, no, it just gives, not the pine box, but the basic coffin, whatever it was, one of the lower end. So the guy, he looks at us afterwards and he goes, well, it really didn't matter because no matter which one it is, the worm's going to get to him anyway. Wants to smash this guy.
Oh, wow. The funeral guy said that?
The funeral guy said that.
Yeah, that's not very good graveside manner. No.
Afterwards, it was really nice. It was like it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Me and my mother kept looking at each other like, did he really say that? Did that really happen? But these guys have absolutely no morals whatsoever.
Oh, they don't care. Well, they really don't care.
It's Marshall Applewhite, not White Apple.
Oh, well, whatever.
Applewhite,
whatever. White Apple, who cares?
Old no nuts. Who cares?
You got Marshall right.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Let's head out to California.
Fucking Pete Picky. Sorry, I'm Ralph Reverse.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Yes. Jesus, dude, why don't you AIDS get and die?
Yes, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here. When my parents pass on, I'm just basically going to burn them and then send them, put them in a thing of concrete.
You might want to think that one through next time you call in, Sharon.
Yeah, before you call, have that in your head.
See, this radio isn't that easy to do.
Yeah, don't
Let's
try to
go
riff.
John Smith. Hey, John.
Yes, gentlemen, I'm calling from heaven to let you know only Mormons get in here. You'll all burn in hell. You'll probably enjoy yourselves. Thank you all for trying. We do get XM up here for free, though.
Oh, goody.
Man, you got that creepy voice. Ugh.
Yeah, sounds like Bruce Kelly, but with more spunk.
That's another thing with religion. It's like, boy, there are a lot of people that are off the mark if one of them's right. That's a crapshoot, isn't it? There's going to be a bunch of people going, don't I get in? I was faithful to my faith and everything. No, that was the wrong one, dude.
Sorry.
Like, I mean, the hardcore religious people.
St. Peter's going to pull your cock out. Where's the rest of it? I don't know. They told me it had to be chopped off.
St. Peter pulls your cock out
at
the pearly gates?
Yeah, he's showing you why you don't get in.
That's why they're pearly.
The pearly necklace.
That's a good observation, Anthony.
Yeah, like a bunch of people are going to be really, really disappointed.
Pretty much most of us don't even have a choice. Our parents say, you're going to be a Catholic.
Yeah.
And then some people get motivated later on in life and go, no, I don't want to be a Catholic anymore. I want to be a Jew.
And you can't do your research on faith-based stuff. It's not like you can research something and get facts. It's all, fantasy land.
Yeah, instead of teaching us that stupid Spanish for 6 years in junior high and high school, maybe 6 years of religion so we can make a pretty good choice.
Religion in the schools. What a great idea, Opie.
There you go.
You're brilliant on that one. That won't cause too much of a problem.
Well, the ACLU said they want more. They want this church and state to be a bit closer together.
Yeah, a little
too
closer.
Separate.
It's too separate now.
But the point I'm making, this is a pretty heavy choice, and it's just
right.
It's just given to us. No, you're a Catholic.
Just think of the hardcore guys like the.
Go get your suit. You're getting one of those things done. One of those religious ceremonies.
Your confirmation.
Sure.
Holy Communion.
Go get a suit with Dad. That's what you are from now on.
Mm-hmm. You go through everything, and then you realize, it's all a mistake.
Oh, boy. It was the Protestants.
It was the wrong one.
The Protestants are the right ones.
Oh, I just missed. Damn it.
I just missed.
Just missed.
And they get to fuck a lot more. Damn it.
And then you get the religions that are just hardcore guys that, like, every day of their life is adhering to a religion. And then you get up there and go, wait a minute. You're saying that was a big waste of time. Big waste. I could have been having sex. I could have been in the same boat I'm in now. See? Watch.
Muhammad Atta standing there. You got to be shitting me.
I did everything I did, and I can't get in.
72? You bought that random number? I don't know. Fucking idiots.
Sounded like a blast.
Ugh. Childlike mentality.
Like I said, I think there's something there. Can't quite figure it out. I don't think it has to do with any. I don't think any organized religion has it pegged. I think because your meat with energy coursing through it, I think that energy has to have something to it.
It continues.
I think there's some type of divine. Only the simian contains the divine spark.
Very good.
Got some kind of divine spark or something.
Kazi.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Listen to Kazi. Go ahead, Kazi.
Yeah, when you die, your energy force becomes gravity, and that's what holds you to the planet.
So why
dead people have made gravity?
So why hasn't gravity changed? Why haven't we been weighed down really, really heavily?
Yeah.
Well, because you get reborn, you get pulled out of the gravity.
So every person that's born takes away from the gravity, but the dead people make gravity.
But
there's more people living now than there used to, so wouldn't the gravity be really heavy?
No, you'd be less.
People don't realize it.
People used to be really, really heavy.
Oh wait,
I guess.
people would be
No, people were smaller when you back then, so you didn't notice it.
Oh, good point.
Kazi, how many dates have you had to actually shake their shoulder and go, "Are you still with me?" Oh.
Yeah, really.
All right, Kazi. Thank you. One more clip from Bullshit.
The gases inside the casket, since they cannot escape, in some instances will absolutely explode, blowing the casket apart.
Stop it.
And your arms, which are now mush, squirt out of the casket.
That's pleasant. The gases build up, and what? When your bony finger strikes your Zippo lighter, it ignites? That ain't going to happen. You're not going to explode in there. What kind of gas is he talking about? Stop it.
Good find, Eric. Good find.
Ooh, a compliment.
Good find, Eric.
Now smack him with the newspaper. Hold up the newspaper and hit him on the nose.
Hawk did a good job.
Kick him in the liver.
Kept that bit going for an extra day. Thank you, Eric. Death in Jersey, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What do you want to know about the funeral industry? I'm a funeral director. I own a couple of funeral homes in Jersey. What do you want to know? First of all, the guy who called 3 times, like 2 calls ago, talking about the worms getting to the body, that's wrong. All right, once you're in a vault, 95% of the cemeteries in New Jersey and the United States require what's called a vault. You could buy the cheapest casket around, put it in a vault, and nothing's going to get to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because
So-
you got that cement thing.
Yeah, it's a vault. You
They
can
call
buy
it a vault, right. Well,
The
they
cheapest vault you could buy, it still seals. Anything you put in there, nothing's going to get to it. I disinterred somebody that's been dead about 50 years.
Yeah? Was it nice?
You could have took the casket. If I had the vault, and it was perfect. Nothing was wrong with it.
Oh, wait, you have to bury them with cement around them, right?
And 95% of the cemeteries in New Jersey and basically the United States require it.
So they don't leach into the ground? Is that it?
So it doesn't end up in our drinking water.
Well, yeah, but Jewish cemeteries, they don't require it. They just go back to the earth.
I think it's cheaper the other way.
But like, I guess you guys are talking, I caught on the replay about like the flowers that we sell them back to florists.
It just seems suspicious, that's all I'm saying. I
No,
have
I understand what you're saying, but that's wrong too. We don't do that. Basically what happens is, if there's a lot of flowers left, we'll tell the family, take it home, or if they don't want to take it,
Oh, no,
we'll take it to a local nursing home, basically. We donate it to them.
Well, one florist did email me overnight, and she said that what they do as a florist is they pick the flowers that only have a day or 2 left on them, before they are going to start noticeably looking worse or whatever.
But if you have
and use those flowers to make all the displays.
But if you have a long viewing, for instance, say like someone dies on a Monday and you have a wake on Wednesday with a burial on Thursday, the flowers get there on Tuesday. By Thursday, they're like mostly dying anyway. So most of them, all of them are usually brought to the cemetery. I don't know what funeral home you went to. I'm sorry about your loss, but I don't know.
No, I'm not accusing them of anything. I have no idea. Just
accusations now.
Yeah, it was just very suspicious to me. It just seems like some go-getter out there would find a way how to recycle these flowers and make a little extra money. That's all I'm saying.
Is it just me, or are you getting the heebie-jeebies talking to this guy?
No, I'm not. I'm a
well,
good
because
guy.
listen to the guy. He
I know
owns
it's
funeral
just
homes and he's all business. You were like, which is fine. I mean, we all understand that it is a business.
This guy's
I
1 minute away from going.
WNEW, so I'm a faithful listener. I have all my workers listen to you guys.
Yeah.
But another thing is,
nice.
What you should do is when you have a funeral going on, at the end, just ask the funeral director, can I sit in the room while you lower my loved one down and lock the casket? You're allowed to do that.
Well, why
That's
would you
not
want to
against
do that?
Some families do that because of, why do they steal a ring off mom or dad or an earring off
All right, they don't want
Some
pilfering.
families I do that. I tell families, you want to stay and watch, you're more than welcome. Somebody usually will stay back, like a cousin or an uncle. They'll stay back while we lower it down.
You got to think some of the guys out there, it's too tempting not to take a little jewelry with them.
Yeah.
But you know what? You really don't want to steal from the dead. I'll tell you a quick story. A friend of mine was pulled in on a funeral for me. There was a whole bunch of flowers left. He took the flowers, won them home with him to give them to his wife, left the flowers in the car. His wife gets in the car, drives around, and gets into a car accident. That's why you don't steal from the dead.
Why? Because that bitch can't drive?
I'm not saying that. That's why you don't steal from the dead.
Well,
Did she die?
It makes you think, right?
Yeah, it does make you think. You don't. It's theirs. You
Did
don't
she
wanna
live
take
or
them.
die?
No, she lived.
Okay.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Stupid fender bender.
Yeah, right.
But-
A little clunk.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know I am on the other side of the business, so I know what goes on.
All right, thank you.
Bye,
You're
mister.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Hate funeral parlor owners.
They're just
Sorry, I know he's
ghouls.
nice and everything, but yeah, it's such a ghoulish thing to get into. It's just ghoulish. Boo.
Standing by your dead grandmother with a black suit and a Viagra heart on. It's creepy.
They do it because they make a lot of money doing it. Kevin in Philly.
Yeah, I used to work at good morning, guys. I used to work at a hospital taking bodies down to the morgue and amputated limbs. But sometimes, if you got approved by the coroner, people could come and pick their loved one up and put them in a cardboard box, and then they could take them to the cemetery and get them buried that way.
Oh, yeah?
But the worst was taking the limbs down to the morgue after the amputations and then having them come and pick those things up.
Where'd you work? Baghdad? How many fucking amputations are going on at this hospital?
Oh, freaking Pat from Menaki, he'll know about it in a couple of years. Just ask him.
That's funny. They just show up with a ring box for a toe.
You'll end up losing one of them fat baby arm legs pretty soon.
All right, thank you, Kevin.
Dumb rosacea face.
All right, we'll move on to other things.
Give Pat a good crispy slap. Nice warm Crisco oil on the hand.
Oh.
Right across that rosacea face.
What's going on with the rally? Are we sending people down there?
Yeah, we can talk about that next.
Big oldies rally? Oh, God, I can only imagine.
We have a real problem, breaking.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I was like, let's take a break. And then you mentioned that, and then it's like, well, speaking of that, Anthony, and then we do another 10 minutes.
All right, let's find out what the problem is.
What?
Something problem? Breaking? I thought we had a breaking problem, and that's why we had to go to break.
Yeah,
but you said we have a problem breaking.
We do
I thought it was a breaking problem.
We do have a problem breaking, yes.
You sure we don't have a problem breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
All right, let's break.
Punchy and tired.
We're entering the silly zone. You never know what's going to happen when we enter the silly zone.
This video doesn't look good. This lawsuit called off after videotape scene. And
why am I on
2
tape?
men, real blurry, and one looked like his underwear were down. We'll get to the bottom of that story after these words.
What was the lawsuit about?
I don't know.
We don't
We'll have to look.
Okay.
What happened with this rally?
We're going to play the Jimmy Robinson thing. Going back to the Jimmy Robinson Kiss thing with Paul Simon, of course.
Oh.
Listen to this.
Hanging out with Paul and Gene on Sunday afternoon. And then they pushed me down the stairs. They took me to comfort me. They tell me it's okay. They kiss my head and muss my hair. So here's to you, Jimmy Robinson. Come in with your cape and fly away. I'm so gay. What's that you say, Jimmy Robinson? Helen wants to come over and play Monsterade, Monsterade. Hiding under porches with the next door neighbor's kid. I learned to live with all the awful things I did. Telling jokes so I don't have to kill myself. So here's to you, Jimmy Robinson. I'm a sorry mess and you're to blame. I live in shame. Choo-choo-choo, Jimmy Robinson. Why'd you have to make me play that game? Monsterade, Monsterade.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Your home for good, clean, wholesome family entertainment. Wow.
That is such a long way to go just to say.
It's the Opie and Anthony.
So what were you saying about Clinton, Anthony?
There's a book that's going to be coming out about Hillary Clinton, and apparently makes some allegations that Bill is just cheating like crazy now. Now he doesn't even care. It's not even he's not even trying to hide it. there are nights where he'll go over his girlfriend's house, and the Secret Service wait at the end of the driveway, and he spends the night at her house, and then leaves in the morning, and he's just banging now.
Hillary's in a tough position because she can't get divorced because she wants to be president.
Yeah, but what's worse, just realizing there's a problem and leaving and getting divorced and then moving on with your life, or who's going to vote for a woman that can't can't even keep her family life straight?
She's in just a bad position, though. The only shot she has at the presidency, which, I mean,
she
stop.
doesn't, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, all of a sudden she gets the divorce and stuff. What? No one's... Yeah, exactly what you said, basically, but... So she's...
There'd sooner be
but she cares...
an N in there before Hillary.
What?
I meant Nader.
Yeah, Nader.
Nader.
What are you, a Nader lover?
No.
Jesus.
Nader. He runs just about every year. He'd sooner get in than Hillary. What were you talking about, Jimmy?
Nader.
So you can't have a female president or a black president. That's what what the country's all about.
Yeah.
But maybe you could have like a very, 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 very light-skinned black in there first. You're not going to go with a Mickey Rivers black.
No?
No. But the country will slowly accept something like that eventually.
Colin Powell?
Maybe even lighter than Colin. Like barely black. I mean, just so barely black, but he could say, I'm actually black. That's how the country thinks. We'll accept that maybe, eventually. But you can't go right for the Mickey Rivers black.
A lot of states in the middle of this country.
I understand. Same thing with a female president. Maybe a dykey female president first.
You think a bull dyke in there
first? Like a bull dyke, as long as she keeps her hair soft.
Mullet?
Keeps the hair soft. No, you can't go mullet. Are you insane?
Just total, sleeveless vest with tattoos, like a bull dyke.
It would have to be a manly woman.
No, I don't see it happening.
Kind of like like a Jenna Reno type.
Have you seen the pictures of the presidents through history? Have you looked at those photos? They really have a very common thread going through every one of them. Oh, the faces are different, sometimes very different.
And the wigs are different.
And the wigs early on, sure. But there's a common thread going through all of them. They're older white guys. That's how we like our presidents here. We have a history on that. There's a way to look and say, that's what we're going to get. Older, wise, white men that are leading the country, that we can look up to and say, I know he makes a good president because he's just like every other president we've had. Look at all the pictures on the wall. Perhaps you're in your schoolhouse now. Look at the walls. The presidents are on the wall of your classroom. They're all white guys. We like white people. We like the way they run the country. Sure, they fuck up every so often, but at least they're white guys. That's how we enjoy it. And remember, a lot of our presidents smoke Lucky Strike cigarettes. Smooth flavor, and it keeps away the lung fever. Yeah, we like things to remain the same like that. I think the only way you're going to get a black president is if there's a black guy down the line somewhere, and there's this cataclysmic destruction of our leadership where everyone just gets killed. And the succession, line of succession, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Includes, like, milkmen. And then at that point, you can then jump to a black guy that might be president.
No, it will be a conservative, first of all.
Yeah.
It'll be an ex-military guy like Colin Powell, who'll probably get in the same way Bush Sr. did, through a vice presidency.
Yeah.
You'll have some type of conservative president and a conservative vice president.
And if it's an incumbent, and then he's been the vice president, and then the guy running against him is a mongoloid, let's say. No? Could happen. I'm just saying that I don't think this country is ready.
And ask them if they want to help save this country from the onslaught of integration. You know, the system is they want to throw white children and colored children into the melting pot of integration, throughout of which will come a conglomerated, mulatto, mongrel class of people. Both races will be destroyed in such a movement. I, for one, under God, will die before I'll yield 1 inch to that kind of a movement.
Wow. Mongrel! You think there'll be a female vice president?
No.
Again, I think a better shot conservative.
I think as a goof they would do that, and then make sure the president is very healthy and very well protected. You think Bush is well protected? You watch the protection a president gets if there's a female vice president.
I don't know how that. The American people, on the whole, you could look at New York, you could look at California, you could look at a few states and go, wow, pretty liberal thinking people here. You see which way they vote. You're forgetting what these states bookend. A country full of people that have very, very old ideas about race and sex and their place in our leadership. It's the way it is. It's not right. It's just the way it is.
You have to get people to cross party lines. That's why I'm saying if it's black, mostly, I'm not saying all blacks are Democrats, but typically that's a more Democratic voting
No, the
bloc.
Uncle Toms are Republicans. And
right.
Criminals are the liberal.
Good point.
Yeah.
You have to get them to cross party lines. Same thing with a woman, conservative woman. Because I don't care what women say. If there's a conservative, a woman running for vice president, chances are a lot of Democratic women are going to switch and vote for that because they're going to see that getting the woman in office is more important than voting along party lines.
But then the abortion thing comes up. All of a sudden, now you got a conservative woman that's coming in. Now she's confronted with the pro-life or pro-choice decision.
Right.
Now a lot of women don't like the pro-life. They like pro-choice. They want to feel empowered. We have control over our own bodies. That, I think, blows the woman vote for a conservative woman. You get a liberal woman, there's a whole other thing. It's just the conservatives rip them apart.
She may not be completely conservative. She may have a certain moderate. Like Clinton was a more moderate liberal, I think. He wasn't completely, you know what I mean, for the death penalty.
And how big's her ass? Would it be big?
Not particularly. No, it's got to be kind
That's
of
another thing.
Dumper.
She can't be attractive. She can't be very attractive. She can't be hot.
Hillary Clinton's perfect looking.
But she can't be a dumpy thing.
Condi Rice is perfect looking for
You
politics.
think?
Yeah. Condoleezza Rice has a shot at a vice president or something like that.
You think?
If she had a very strong, like a John McCain, somebody who's well-liked, I think so.
All right. Why don't we move on here? So Clinton is basically sleeping around.
That's what they
now.
say. That's what this guy is. Some guy's writing a book. I wish I had his name, but fuck him.
All right. We got Richard from Giant Magazine outside the studio.
Ooh.
We should get him in to talk about movies. Current movies coming out on DVD, all that fun stuff. John in Virginia, real fast. Go ahead.
Hey, did I hear Anthony say a sleeveless vest?
Yeah, I did say that. Sorry.
God, it just cracks
As opposed
up our
to a
listeners when we fuck
I was
up.
going to say sleeveless shirt, but then I thought vest.
You hear the laugh, though?
Sleeveless
Did
vest.
you say sleeveless vest? Yeah, I did.
As opposed to the vest with sleeves on it, which is called a shirt, you idiot. Yeah, I suck.
Really fast.
Oh,
Let's get a
wow,
mic
look
in.
who's on the cover, Katie Holmes.
Well, I'm kind
I haven't seen her very much lately.
Hey, Richard, what's up?
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hi.
I just discovered this Giant Magazine, and I absolutely love it, but I'm kind of pissed off because I'm going to the newsstands almost daily to get the latest issue. This one's been out forever, right?
What a
It's
well-made
true, yeah.
magazine.
We just launched last fall, and we're bi-monthly, which means every other month.
Okay.
Yep,
I didn't know that.
Until February, in which time we go 10 issues a year.
All right.
What months are you excluding?
I think July.
You don't like the month of
We're doing
July?
June, July, December, January. You know, people aren't reading as much.
June, July.
Wait, you're missing
You missed
August?
Oh, yeah, what's up with
No,
August?
no. We're doing a June, July double issue. So those two count for one. And then December, January counts for one.
Oh,
so it's 10 issues a year.
Oh, because August and January are probably awful months, right? Or is
Yeah.
it December that's the awful month?
No, January's an awful month and July's an awful month.
Yeah, July. Cause
So they don't get their own issues.
People on vacation.
Yeah, because people are at the beach and they don't like to read at the beach.
Down the shore.
Yeah.
Dinah Shore.
No, down the shore.
Oh.
I was talking
Isn't
like
she
I'm from
dead?
Baltimore.
Is Dinah Shore dead?
If not, she should be.
I think she is.
I think we can all agree on that.
All right, I just have to get to one more phone call and then we'll talk to Richard here. Mike in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you, a couple of weeks ago, or like last weekend, I was in Portland. I ended up getting a rental car that had XM. I had you guys for the whole weekend. I was real happy.
And we care why?
I'm just telling you.
Did you just get hit on the head with an anvil? I hear tweeting birds, and he sounds like an idiot.
Nice. The reason I called.
I guess we do
Yeah.
care, because if you
Yeah.
weren't listening, we wouldn't be here.
That's true.
All right, thank
I
you.
was giving you a compliment.
Thank
Anyway.
you, sir.
All right. We
Anyway, the reason
love
I was
compliments.
calling, my mom, big-time listener of CBS FM, I swear to you, she's suicidal because they took off the air.
Really?
Yes, I kid you not. She said to me, I said to her, how's it going? She's like, life sucks. I'm like, why? CBS FM got taken off the air. I go, you're kidding, right? She has a petition that she went to a 50 show with last weekend, got 200 signatures. She's ready to riot. I'm not even kidding.
Who's this, your mom?
Yes, my mom.
Does she have an iPod or a CD player?
Nothing.
Buy her one.
Yeah, tell her to get a hold of herself and just download shit like everyone else.
I mean, seriously, she was like, oh, it makes me want to think of doing bad things.
Hold on a second. Whoa, hold on, buddy. Eric, why are you mouthing the words XM?
Oh my God, Eric, take your beating.
No, I wanted to. I'm not
What
even beating him. I'm asking him. I don't know why.
The 50s and 60s channel on XM.
Are you actually in the middle of me smashing this guy's mother, expecting me to do product placement for
Commercial.
XM radio?
A commercial.
Sir, you're right. Hold on.
Are you secretly working for Eric Logan?
No.
That's the type of thing Eric Logan will text message. If we talk about oldies going down, he goes, don't forget to mention that we have oldies on the 50s and 60s
You know what,
channels."
sir? Tell your mom she can stay right here at XM and listen to the 50s and 60s.
Right.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
That'll get the subscriptions up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Promoting the 50s and 60s channels.
One more thing.
Jesus.
Got a song.
He mouthed XM.
I know, I saw that.
Song.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
What?
Now he's got a song by somebody.
The Smith Children?
The what?
The Smith Children?
Yeah.
All right.
Take me to the river?
You cut out. What was the song?
Take me to the river?
Take me...
For who?
The Smith Children.
Who?
Your phone sucks, though.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm punching out. Bye.
No, who are you talking about?
Mike.
Yes?
One more try.
Okay.
Just start over, though. No one knows what you're talking about because your phone crapped out.
Oh, hang on. Headphone sucks.
No, because
it has... Yeah, the headphones.
Right.
It was the headphone. I apologize.
All right, let's go. All right, so what were you trying to say?
I was trying to say Susan Smith's Children singing Take Me to the River.
Ugh. Did you hear that?
I have no
I'm
idea.
punching out.
Take
Bye,
me
guys.
to the... And then it cut out. No, you can't leave us hanging. Take me to the what?
River. Bye.
We heard everyone. You stupid.
Stink. It was a lake, wasn't it? I think it was a river.
He just doesn't know.
All right, Richard, what do you do for Giant Magazine?
River wouldn't have
I'm
been
what's called the
funny.
articles editor. I see a lot of movies. We review a lot of movies.
Your job is just to watch movies?
That's all I do all day.
Wow.
I thought our job was cool. I think you have a cooler job.
It's a nice big magazine. I like this, actually.
Yeah, it's good. The good thing about Giant is that it's sort of one-stop shopping for pop culture fanatics. Anybody who likes movies, music, video games, books, web, anything that you really care about, you'll find it in Giant.
I read a lot of these magazines, okay? I love FHM, actually. But there's something about Giant. I really, really got into it.
It's big. There's something big about it. Like it's like a, no, I'm not even kidding. It's like wider than most magazines. Hold it up next to a Hustler.
All right, let me do that.
I'll do it for you because you're the host. I'll just hold it. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It's much bigger. It's wider. It's the same height. But it's probably a half
But it's
inch.
a bigger magazine.
Yeah. It's just like
And that
perfect for the
makes it
toilet.
more-
I like the heavy
Giant.
paper.
More
on the
gooder?
cover.
Yeah, it's just a good magazine.
All right, so you watch movies for a living?
I watch movies a whole lot, and basically we coordinate. We just try to put together the best magazine that we can to make sure that any reader looking to see what's going on in a particular month, they can head to Giant and figure out what they want to do and what they want to see.
Know anything about War of the Worlds?
I know that they haven't shown it to anybody in the U.S.
No?
It's been premiering all over the world. You've been seeing these tabloid pictures of those two going all over the
Well,
place.
tell Giant to fly into another country.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, man. We're a startup. But, no, I think
I'm looking forward to that one.
I think it's going to be real good. I think Steven Spielberg knows how to make a good movie about aliens.
I think that movie's going to be scary.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Scary.
Creepy.
And creepy, possibly, yeah.
So when's the next issue come out?
We just closed it. It comes out. It's our August-September issue with Misha Barton from the OC on the cover looking hot. There are 8 pages of her. She looks great. It's going to be a really good issue, and we're really excited about it.
Do you have any camel toe photos in this magazine? That's definitely what you need. I'm a camel toe fanatic. You have a camel toe section. I'm telling you,
I'll let my photo director know about
Absolutely.
Casino 10th anniversary edition. What can we expect?
I'm sorry?
Casino.
Oh, yeah, good stuff in that. That's obviously a huge movie for guys our
Yeah.
age who remember that back in the day. There's a lot of extra features, a lot of commentary. It's just one of those really cool DVDs that people should pick up if they like the movie.
I love the idea of having to buy a DVD of the same movie 3 or 4 times through the years.
That's rough. That's rough.
That
Yeah,
is
I mean,
just a lot of fun.
The new Star Wars movie, the one that's making like $400 million right now, it's coming out in the fall on DVD, and you have to wonder why anybody's going to purchase it, because you know, every 3 months there's going to be a new DVD and a new special edition and a new gift set. And
I don't feel so bad about that because I know George Lucas could really use the money.
That's
it's
true.
not like I feel,
That's true.
Call me crazy. I buy these DVDs just to watch the movie. I could care less about the extras.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm an extra guy.
All right.
I like watching the extras.
Most of the extras stink.
American Psycho, Killer Collector's Edition.
That actually comes out today.
Uncut version?
It comes out today.
Yes, it does.
They're being all punny and stuff with the title Uncut. Get it?
Uncut, and it's in a big slice mark on the cover.
Yeah.
I get it.
And that's pretty cool. That's, again, it has a documentary from something called like this pages to the screen, has extras, things like that. It's cool for anybody who likes that movie, which if you don't like that movie, watch it again, because it's something upon first viewing you don't really get.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a really funny movie.
You know what had great extras? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That had good extras because it had deleted scenes. So I wanted to see more McMurphy scenes, and I mean, that to me was interesting. But most
with
of them,
old classic movies, it's cool to see new stuff like that. To put in those in newer movies, it's kind of like...
because they're making it with DVDs in mind now, so they're
Right.
almost putting things in the production on purpose. So there's a part of it that's just kind of stupid.
Right, but what's really cool, I mean, you're looking right now at a feature we did on the director of Donnie Darko, which is another really cool movie, this guy called Richard Kelly, who's a young writer-director. And what he did with his special edition DVD is he sort of re-edited it and brought in deleted scenes that sort of filled in some of the holes of the story. So what happens is the DVD is actually better than what people saw in the theater. So I think that's pretty cool, and that's one of the benefits of the DVD revolution going on now.
Oh, Dogtown. This movie. When I was doing Pugs and Kelly, the woman called in, and I was kind of a dick to her. I was just kidding, but this is supposed to be like a pop in about these skateboarders.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie.
Is it?
Cool movie. Yeah, I mean, it kind of bombed.
Opie's
It came
going
out
to
last
see
week.
that, knowing that he's, a skateboarder.
What? What happened?
You're going to see that movie about the skateboarders.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
saw it
bro.
already.
'Cause
I saw it already. It's,
Opie's just a big skateboarder.
There was a lot of skating, and it was cool.
But yeah, there's some good movies coming out this summer, so I think people should be excited.
Hope
Yeah.
someone got that out there.
What else?
Anyway, have you seen any good movies this summer there, Richard?
I have, actually.
Batman?
I saw Batman, which I think is the best movie I've seen in like 6 months.
That's a good one.
Best movie you've seen in 6 months?
I would say.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it was really,
What was the
really
movie
good.
before that was really good?
Oh, gee, I
I'm
don't know.
told Batman was a little better.
There had to be a movie within 6 months for you to pick 6 months.
That's what I mean.
That's
there
true.
had to be a
you
movie
know,
you were walking around going, wow, this
or else
is
then
the
it would
best
just be the best movie I've
seen
seen in a year.
Right.
And
You know,
then
I'm
you can
pick-
remember that a year before you saw that movie. And
Well, you know what's funny is because all the Oscar movies come out at the end of the year. So basically from January on, there's not a whole lot going on until the summer because studios know that they're all their best
so
movies.
you
all
just
movies
picked
gonna make a
6
lot of
months,
money.
but
I
you
just
meant
picked 6 months.
best movie of the year.
I would say so.
All right.
2005, 6 months in.
And why did you think that was a really good movie?
I just thought it was a really, really cool movie. I was really excited that the director was able to resurrect the franchise because I was really disappointed, like a lot of people, when they ruined it in the mid-'90s. And I think that it was just a really engrossing...
But how did they ruin it?
It was this director called Joel Schumacher who made 2 movies. He made Batman Forever in 1995 and Batman and Robin in 1997,
Right.
which basically deflated the entire thing and just made it a 2-dimensional comic book. There were no real characters. It was all cartoony and crappy. And
sucked.
And I think it just completely ruined it for everybody.
Okay.
After all the good work that Tim Burton did in the late 80s and early 90s. So I think what Chris Nolan did, who's the director of this one now, is he was able to sort of press the reset button and get us back to the beginning and really put his own really cool, dark, gothic spin on it. And I think the cast is amazing. I just think it was one of those movies that, you know, it's hard to fight the crowds and pay $10 to go see a movie nowadays because so much of what you see is crap. But I
Kitty
think
Holmes
with this,
was,
I think it's,
she was all right.
yeah.
She wasn't great, though.
She didn't have a whole lot to do, but she was all right.
But the rest of the
Didn't
movie I
really
really,
have
really
much to
liked. Liam Neeson, that whole opening scene was amazing, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, Liam Neeson, Morgan
I liked
Freeman,
his
Michael Caine.
portrayal of Qui-Gon again. That was pretty good. He played the same character he played in Star Wars. Boy, he's really pretty sharp when picking proteges, isn't he? Pretty goddamn good at picking people to train.
What other movies have you seen this summer there, Richard?
The one that I can't that I can't recommend enough is called The Wedding Crashers with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn.
I look at that movie poster. It makes my back hurt. It bothers me so much.
Really?
How come?
Just Owen Wilson. Because I'll tell you why I don't like the movie poster. Because he's holding his tie, and the thing says "Life is a party." Crash it. Ugh.
Eek.
When is that movie out there yet?
No, it comes out July 15th. So we've got about a month or so.
And what's the movie about, real fast?
The movie's about these two guys who are kind of losers who do nothing on the weekends except for crash weddings, and they have fake names, and they basically do it to get laid with the bridesmaids. And it's just really, really, really funny. It's sort of anybody that liked old school will love this. So I think that's going to be a big hit this summer.
Yeah, not many big hits though this summer.
They're not.
From,
I mean, how many people are excited for Fantastic Four? You know,
no one.
Yeah,
only because the Thing is the only creature in the poster. It's just the three people and Thing.
What about Bewitched? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. It comes out this Friday, and so far the reviews are so-so.
What about Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
I saw that, and I think it's kind of fun to look at, but didn't make any sense.
What about Cinderella Man?
I like Cinderella Man a whole lot. I thought it was kind of schmaltzy, but every once in a while that's all right.
What about Madagascar?
Didn't see it.
What about Herbie, Fully Loaded?
Didn't see it.
What about The Honeymooners?
Didn't see it.
How about Star Wars? That was pretty cool, right?
That was pretty cool.
You watch movies for a living?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You devote an hour to a day to that?
Yeah. I work 2 days a week.
Are you a slacker like the rest of us? Jesus. Oh my God.
Well, no, the thing is, with
Your
a lot
job is to watch movies.
He just reads reviews and then talks about it.
Yeah. Haven't seen it.
The thing about movies like that is that they don't show it to people like me.
No?
Because they know that I might not like it and I might tell people. Is my guess. Or maybe they just don't like me.
They like you. You're a nice boy.
I try.
Handsome.
I try.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, movies like Stealth.
How about The Longest Yard?
Longest Yard came out, made a whole bunch of money. I think a lot of people liked it. I didn't, but a lot of people thought it was fun. Funny.
A lot of remakes coming out. How about The Bad News Bears?
Yeah, that comes out at the end of July. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Who, if you saw him in Bad Santa.
Yeah.
I think it's like basically, rehashing that character, which is A-okay with me because I thought he was awesome.
Did you see the kid that plays Tanner Boyle in this one? He's even better looking than that first kid. I didn't think they could top that body.
Tanner Boyle, he's my personal hero.
Why?
Because that line at the end when the kids who won offer to share the trophy, he says, "Take your trophy and shove it up your ass."
Yeah.
It's just like the biggest, middle finger to the whole sort of like can-do.
I just like Vic Morrow before his head was lopped off, smacking his son on the mound. That was my favorite part of that.
Yeah.
Just when he's wearing his cap, just knowing how that comes off with a helicopter blade a few years later.
Little kid from Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Is that who that kid was?
Yeah. Hey, look, Ben Sparks works there, Jim. Look at the guy at the top of that column. Oh, turn it right side up.
I thought the same thing when I saw him. And there's Godfrey at the bottom.
There.
Is that Godfrey or D.L. Hughley?
I think that's D.L. Hughley.
All right. And how about...
It does look like Ben. I noticed that.
Yeah.
How about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Comes out July 15th. They're not showing anybody that because I think they're just going to try to surprise everybody in the next few weeks. I think it looks really cool though, and Tim Burton, who we just mentioned, who directed the first two Batman, certainly has a cool vision.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp is a good actor.
Tim Burton makes good movies.
Poor Gene Wilder chased him out of Hollywood. He said he was so disgusted.
Cool.
He was so disgusted. I mean, I'm tired of the remakes too. I kind of want to see Willy Wonka though.
Remakes are everywhere, and we're planning for our holiday issues now, and it's the same thing. It's either a book adaptation or a remake.
Everything is. Because the writing stinks in Hollywood. The writing's awful.
The writing's not good, and the thing is, these studios are putting up, $100 million for each movie when you include marketing, and they want, a good investment on their return, or a good return on their investment. So I think they want, a fail-safe idea.
Yeah.
And that's, if it worked once, why not try again?
It's just awful, though.
Did you know that Charlie Bucket retired from acting, and he now works as a veterinarian in upstate New York?
Yeah, I think I read that in Giant Magazine.
Yeah.
None of them went anywhere, actually, except for Gene Wilder, and one of the kids is still making, one of the kids is like Veruca Salt.
Yeah. Right. She still makes appearances and stuff.
How do you star in that movie as Charlie and get nothing?
Because you were awful.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
That stupid, incestuous vibe, they're all in the same bed. How creepy, smelling old people.
Come on, Charlie, grab a hold of my sack.
Yeah. They're all fighting.
The thing I like about Gene Wilder is you see him doing all these interviews, and he shows up in his sweatpants. And it's like, good for you, man.
You gotta love that.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't care.
One of the funny. He's probably the best screamer in the history of Hollywood. Gene Hackman. Gene Wilder.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman. Sorry, I thought of Gene and Voss at the same time.
Wonderful.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about as far as movies go?
There's a good movie called Stealth coming out, which is from Sony Pictures. It stars Jessica Biel, Jamie Foxx, Josh Lucas. I only saw the first hour of it, but I was really excited about it, and I think that's a lot of people are going to go see that. A movie called Hustle and Flow about a rapping pimp, which comes out in about a month.
Who's playing him?
This guy called Terrence Dashin Howard, and it actually was purchased for it's the largest Sundance buy in the history of the Sundance Film Festival.
Oh my God!
Which those guys buy a lot of crap for a lot of money. So I think they bought it for like $9 million or something like that.
A rapping pimp?
A rapping pimp in Memphis.
Yeah.
Is it a documentary?
No, it's a drama, but it's good. It's good. I mean, it sounds heavy, but it's not. What else? The Island, the new Michael Bay movie with Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor, looks like a lot of fun. Although who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, The Aristocrats, which is this fantastic documentary coming out at the end of July. It's starring like 50 comedians, and they all tell the same joke, basically. And it's all about how this one dirty joke that goes all the way back to vaudeville, basically like is the ultimate insider's comedian, inside comedic joke. As everyone from Chris Rock to Jon Stewart to Sarah Silverman to George Carlin to, literally any Bill Maher.
I haven't seen enough of Jon Stewart and Sarah Silverman lately.
Oh, Ben's saying you have to go? All right. Richard, thank you so much. Your last name again?
Dormant.
Richard Dormant from Giant Magazine. He does all the movie reviews and the DVD
Dormant
reviews.
is your last name?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah. That's nice, right?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's nice. Just lurking on the...
Name is Dormant along with excitement.
No one said you had to live up to your name. Jesus.
Just lurking around those white blood cells, are you?
All right, Richard. Thank you so much. We
thank you, sir.
And I'm glad you didn't drown in the pool in Officer and a Gentleman.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I really do like the magazine.
It's fantastic.
Well, thanks. Keep reading.
Okay.
Can they do a feature on me? No one talks to me.
Maybe.
He was in Spider-Man.
Really was.
I was.
A big star.
Yeah.
I played the bulge in the front of his pants. I want them to do a feature on me. He stinks, and I don't like him.
That's his line.
That was his line.
There it was.
Why are you awkwardly leaving?
Oh, no.
No, you can... Oh, yeah. Oh, they're telling... Okay, Eric.
I'm going to let you be.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Rich.
Wait, you didn't say
goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, there you go.
Take it easy.
Oh,
is this yours?
But you totally know. Look at him. Look, he grabs it. He can't leave fast enough. Oh, my God.
And Eric's trying to shake his hand. He doesn't even want to
Oh, my God. He grabbed his bag and, ran.
No, Eric's walking out with him.
He's running.
Wow. Well, Eric said he was going to be a shitty guest. Eric, why'd you say that?
Oh, God, he's out there with him.
Eric said this guy is going to suck. Why are we having him in?
Eric is now making all sorts of hand signals.
What are you trying to tell him?
Next to the Delphi receiver there.
Eric was right. Eric's like, don't have this guy in. I'm listening to him. He's boring.
Oh, my
God. Eric is now scratching his head.
Giant Magazine. Get it at the newsstand near you.
Dude, I honestly don't do that because I like the magazine.
No, it is good. I didn't say I didn't like it.
Want to go on record and say Giant Magazine is terrific.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So I like the little magazines where you kind of rifle through and you see like little blurbs real quick.
What's going on, Eric?
I can't get in one of these magazines. I hate all of them.
All right, well...
What the heck?
Why did he leave so... language.
He really just...
What's that?
He couldn't wait to get out of here.
Why?
Really?
Oh, he's gone.
He ran out of here. He grabbed his bag and ran.
I know. That's why I kept
him. He didn't say
here.
Goodbye.
I kept him in here a long time because I could tell that he was really, really uncomfortable, and
wow.
All of a sudden, all the saliva went out of his mouth.
Dried up. Yeah, he kind of, and he did a breathing thing. He went like that once.
Ben, how
Boy.
uncomfortable was that? Ben walks in and I go, oh, Ben's saying you got to go?
Yeah, Ben just walks in. Oh, Ben's saying you got to go.
That was a good one.
That guy bombed. Wow.
Oof, bombed, yeah.
It's it's a movie magazine, which is great.
No, it's
Movies
not.
and DVDs.
Well, it's more than that. It's everything. It's pop culture.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's pop culture about movies. It's not like FHM or anything else.
Well, they got
It's kind of movies, DVDs, visual things,
games,
and yeah. But it's
Who booked him?
dude, you don't know what the magazine's about? It's all about movies and visual things. It's
Yeah.
not like FHM where they'll do a piece on, going out to bars and drinking.
I like it, though.
It's all about movies.
TV. There's TV.
And
That was
TV.
a red-headed missile fired out of that plane.
There's book reviews, Anthony. There's CD reviews. What are you talking about?
But it's...
What are you talking about?
Where's book reviews?
Let me see right here.
Book reviews. They got the review on Chuck Palahniuk's book. Good old Fight Club author. Guy.
Oh, Fight Club author. There's the tie-in to a movie guy.
Yeah, but what about the...
But it's not like FHM.
What about the CD reviews? Coldplay getting an A-.
CD.
Oasis, B+.
That's the closest they get.
All right.
But I kind of like that, because I like movies. But apparently he didn't know about many movies.
Oh, he saw, I think, Cuckoo's Nest and the original Star Wars.
Saw Batman, and he liked it.
And
Oof.
he saw an hour of one
going out
movie
there.
and thinks it's going to be great. What if the second hour stinks? Could have been, like Full Metal Jacket. I hate the second half of that movie.
Who booked him?
Yeah, who booked him?
Who booked him? Was there a pre-interview, or did
The fairy fucking godmother booked him. Hell, I like you. You can come to my house and bore my sister. They're paying for it. You listen to us.
You can thank E-Rock for that one. Right, E-Rock?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if we regroup from that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if we even regroup.
Of course.
Take the rest of the morning off.
Yeah,
fellas.
we have the power.
Place has the vibe of Gene Siskel's house on Christmas morning.
So, what movies have you seen? Any? Speak up.
Well, any fucking time, sweetheart.
Wow. Usually a guy that's promoting a magazine is a little more energy. Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Dude, I named 5 of the hottest movies out there.
Got nothing.
And he didn't see them. Not
What
that
do you
they're
mean,
hot,
Steve?
but, the ones everyone's talking about. All right, well, we'll take a break. And
Wow.
Who booked him?
E-Rock.
Eric, was that your call?
That was great. Best movie I've seen in 6 months. Oh, what was the one before that? I don't know. So it wasn't 6 months. Because then it would have been a year. If it was a year ago, there had to be a movie you saw 6 months ago that was good. Humna, 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 Mr. Marshall. Humna, humna, humna.
This guy wanted to talk about Citizen Kane and the original Star Wars. Those were two movies he came in.
Citizen Kane.
Did you see the shadowing Orson Welles used? Certainly did.
Oh.
Wow, yeah, wow. Okay.
Jesus.
All right.
I was making faces at him the whole time. I know he saw me out of his peripheral vision. He
Really?
wouldn't acknowledge it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, that.
Oh, you are?
Of course.
I didn't even look. I was reading the magazine the whole time.
Yeah, they all saw it.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, just Derek alone saw it in there.
Why don't we play Gerbil by Stephen Lynch or something? Try to get a little funny.
Well, I think that was a pretty...
Crying red streak running down 57th Street.
Fire department squirting with a hose.
Thinking there's a fire running down the street.
Actually, let's play Craig Christ. From
There's
Lynch.
no need to put the hoses on. That was just my appearance.
Yeah.
Who booked him?
Who booked him?
You know, the old days we would get these
Yeah.
people out immediately, but now I just love the uncomfortableness.
Oh, I know. It is fun.
And then I just start firing questions at him. Jimmy's making ridiculous faces. Anthony's trying not to just scream at the guy. He's just looking down into the magazine.
Wait, was that Eric or Ben's call? I don't care.
I think it was Eric's.
And I love
It was Eric's.
Wait. Eric,
I love when it gets to a point where there's no saliva left, and they're
Yeah. He was in pain
He had,
sitting
like,
there.
Dude, he was
Prozac
terrified.
lips. He had
Yeah.
Prozac
All
mouth
the
corner.
white shit in the corners.
Eric, what
Eric,
made
did you talk to him beforehand?
Well, you just
No?
What
you
made you
just
book
kind
him?
of called and... What? They're calling you out.
Yeah, they're calling you out.
Just kind of winged it.
What happened? How did you find out about it?
He was interested in coming in. He
They
contacted
called
us.
you.
Yeah.
Because I guess they listened to the show?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They were interested, and I said, sure, just let him come on down.
Don't you have somebody down at the office with a little more personality?
I think Eric said that this guy was going to be a better guest than like Ozzy or, you know.
Did you say
Wow.
Eric,
I have gone on record and I have said I like the magazine a lot. So
No, you like the...
No, the
you
magazine's
like
great.
Maybe we'll get another guy from Giant Magazine to come in here and explain what the magazine's
I like
about.
the magazine as well. I actually liked him, just not as a radio guest. I don't mean that in a bad way. He's a shy guy.
Yeah, see, his expertise lie in magazines.
Yes.
Seems easy to come in, sit in front of a mic, and sound excited about something. But obviously it's very difficult.
Yeah, because when someone says we're bi-monthly in the first 5 seconds of an interview, I immediately... Does that mean you like to have sex with both months?
Yeah, that's the first impression you want to get.
But it's not bi-monthly if there's 10 issues a
No,
year.
I think it's called willy-nilly monthly.
Right.
Yeah.
Just whenever the press is working.
Yeah, it's whenever the funds don't run out, we just put out a magazine with a fucking month on it. Hopefully it corresponds with the temperature. I'm holding the December issue right here.
I've been good. I like this. Who's this? Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
She's a leggy broad.
She sure is.
Spread in here. Looks
Look at
nice.
that shot. Turn back. She's sitting on a chair with her legs open. They could have put her in white shorts so you'd see a little camel toe, but they stick her in black shorts, which wrecks
Yeah.
it.
This frilly little... I think that's periwinkle.
Oh, no, it's a... Hi, Daddy.
It's a nice number.
You would know, Aunt.
Yes, I would. How's it full of periwinkle?
All right, we're going to break. We're going to play Craig Christ, because we were talking about religion a little
Yes.
earlier. Just a little tie-in here. Jesus Christ had a brother named Craig Christ. Little known fact. Ben, what do we have next for this fine program?
CBS. CBS. You talk about that?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that for like 2 minutes, and then what?
That's a 30-second...
I know, Jesus.
Hey,
You want us to do 40 minutes on the fact that CVS is having a rally today?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What else we got?
That's exciting.
We should send the listeners down there to do their own interviews, and we'll play the best ones on the show.
Hey, there you go. Where's that going to be, by the way?
1515 Broadway.
All right.
Times Square.
5 more seconds that we won't be able to talk about it when we come back.
Yeah, thanks for... Why don't we just give away the... whatever we can think of.
Shouldn't Liddy have said that?
Yeah. I don't know where Liddy is. I thought that guy was a good guest. Easy, Liddy.
All right, why don't we...
I'm blue and his hair was red. We're primary colors. I know.
All right, why don't we do this? No, you, Eric. Oh, not him.
Eric?
Why
Yeah.
are you pointing at him?
He wants to do it.
Why would he want to do something you could do? But why does he want to...
Hey, I understand Eric has another guest coming in. It's the guy who puts the staples in FHM.
Oh.
I was just going to mix it in here.
I want to know
It's a lot
why
easier
two
because I have
staples
to
and
sit there
not
and wait
three.
for him to count down.
E-Rock.
All right. Derek is taking over the program. Let's go to Derek.
Check, test one.
Dude, it's not like we have Zeppelin in the studio. It's Lynch. It should be good enough. What? Do what? Four?
Nice. That's your sound check.
I don't... 4, 1... Oh, count? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2... All right. Up or low? Okay.
Oh, well.
All right.
It's a Bible song.
All right, here it is. Stephen Lynch.
It's about a little-known biblical character. Everyone knows Jesus, the man who healed the lame. Well, I am Jesus' brother. Craig is my name. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Jesus is the Lamb. Jesus is the Son of God, but Craig don't give a damn. Because when Craig's in sight, we'll party all damn night. I don't turn water into wine, but into Coke Coors Light. I'm not my brother, I know, don't walk on H2O, but I got hydroponic shit that me and Judas grow. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. Craig Christ. I hang out with lepers, Barabbas and Salome. Jesus' friends are called apostles. Those dudes are totally gay. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. No, wait, I already did that line.
What is it? Oh, my God. How am I going to replay this a million times on our show? You messed it up.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is.
All right, go.
Jesus performs miracles from Galilee to Rome. But it would be a miracle if it brought a fucking lady home. Because while Jesus is praying, fucking Craig is laying. Every lady in the Testament, you know what I'm saying. I won't die for your sin like my famous kin. But if you got a little sister, then there's room at this end. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. I'm fucking Craig. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. Jesus was our mother's faith. All her love to him she gave. But there's no sibling rivalry when it's nailed to that tree. Yeah. And now the question for you is not what would Jesus do, but where will you be when the Craig machine comes partying through? And if the Lord will allow, you got to ask yourself how and who and why and when and where is your Messiah now? It's fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Fucking Craig. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. Craig Christ. I'm fucking Craig.
Yeah, right on, man. Woo! Stephen Lynch on the Opie and Anthony Show.
Your sinuses.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen Lynch, and you're listening to Opie and Anthony on on XM Satellite Radio.
And we're back with the Opie and Anthony program.
Hello.
Hola. We got some clips from the Dinah Shore DVD that you brought in, Anthony.
Yes.
Hervé Villachez singing.
Hervé
Villachez.
I got a whole bio on Hervé. A whole bio on him. Went through all of his Fantasy Island money. Started out as a little knick-knack, his name was, in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun. Remember that? He's one of the villain cronies.
Yes.
Then he got the gig on Fantasy Island. He was getting $25,000 per episode, which isn't that much, but when you realize it's like 1978,
that's a lot back
then. That's
nice
cake. Moved into a 2.5-acre ranch in the foothills of the San Fernando Valley. Married Donna Camille. September of 1980, and by December of 1981, the marriage was over. The divorce devastated him. He began to sense he wasn't being treated as fairly as other Fantasy Island cast members. He responded by demanding the same money as Ricardo Montalban.
Uh-oh.
And ABC, caving into his demands, fired him. You little shit. What a dopey move.
I demand the same money that Ricardo Montalban.
And stay out.
You're lucky we don't put you in Garanimals and molest you, stupid.
They must have been able to just take him to the front door of ABC by the scruff of his neck and the back of his pants and just toss him out onto the street.
Through the mail slot. Make him leave through the dog door.
Yeah, we'll think that over there, Hervé. Leaving Fantasy Island would prove to push the first domino in his teetering career. Went through all of his... and look how they put it. Hervé, blowing through his Fantasy Island cash faster than a mouse through cheese. Little guy. He had to sell the ranch.
Terrific. That's terrific.
Went into a less than reputable rent house in North Hollywood. and he started drinking heavily and bought a gun, eventually using it to shoot himself in the head. His common-law wife at the time, even though she didn't live in the same house, would find his dead dwarf body. He wrote a suicide note, grabbed a tape recorder, and proceeded to his cluttered backyard, turned on the recorder, spoke into the microphone.
Kathy, I can't live like this anymore. I've always been a proud man and always wanted to make you proud of me. You know you made me feel like a giant, and that's how I want you to remember me.
After a bit more dwarf rambling, he said,
I'm doing what I have to do. I want everything to go to Kathy. I want everyone to know I love them.
In a sitting position, Hervé leaned back against the sliding glass patio door, placed a pillow against his chest, and fired the pistol into the pillow. Wow, a chest shot. That's balls. The bullet would travel through Hervé's chest, shattering the glass door. Of course, the little body's like nothing. Pass through a kitchen cabinet and eventually end up lodged in the wall. The tape recorder caught the sound of Hervé cocking the pistol just before the deadly shot rang out. As he lay slumped against the glass door, he mumbled, it hurts, I'm dying, I'm dying.
That's creepy.
Wow! There's audio out there somewhere?
It hurts. You
had to say it twice. Deflame. Oh. Kathy immediately rushed Hervé to the medical center in North Hollywood, declared deceased.
And there's one thing
he was 50.
They didn't highlight, that one of the problems he was having, in 1990, it would find Hervé's medical condition worsening in an increasing pain from internal organs that were too large for his body.
Too large for his little body.
his little liver and little heart.
Like all stuffed in that little body. Excerpts from his suicide note. I have to do what's right. At 6 years old, I knew there was no place for me. Who believed my something illegible best friend girl will not call my mom to answer the questions. I hope she does not hurt. I'm still alive. Please know Kathy has the right of attorney over my health and my belongings. I love you all very much. It's one of just my problems. Boy, come on. You're committing suicide? You can't make your last note really nice and legible? Love you, Mom. My brothers, you didn't exist to my heart. You never care only about yourself since 1955. You remember? Kathy did her best. You didn't, so she deserves everything. 3 a.m. I can't miss with a dumb bullet. Ha ha. Never one knew my pain for 40 years or more. Have to do it outside. Less mess. All right, he's being courteous at least.
Apparently not. It went right through the pillow into the kitchen and lodged in a cabinet.
Yeah, but it's better than fidget blood all over your rugs. How do you get that out? Wow, that's pretty good. I guess he didn't like his brothers. Love you all too much. It's one of just my problems. Mom. Can't tell if he loved his mom or not. Didn't leave her anything, though. All right, little Hervé.
I'm dying.
It hurts. I'm dying. Ugh.
That is creepy shit, man.
Yeah. Well, this all started because you have an old DVD that Big Kev gave you from the Dinah Shore show, I guess, or like a tape of a bunch of celebrities singing on the Dinah Shore show.
Yeah, and they just, it's celebrities not known for their singing, you know, and they'd come on, and for some reason Dinah Shore got them to sing. And I think this is Hervé's first ever singing performance in front of a crowd.
All right, let's go to the tape.
I believe this is a first. I don't believe he's ever performed a song on television. And the song is, This Is All I Ask, Hervé Villechaize.
Little boss hands around the microphone.
As I approach the prime of my life, I find I have the time of my life.
This time.
Learning to enjoy at my leisure all the simple pleasures. And so I happily conceive. This is all I ask. This is all I need. Beautiful girl, walk a little slower when you walk by me. Lingering sunset, still a little longer with the lovely sea. Children in the
Okay, terrific.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Ugh.
Shut up.
Little Frenchman. Whatever he was. Is he French?
Yeah, he had a cute little hairdo. He probably wore a little suit.
He had a little suit on, and he grew a mustache.
Oh.
So he would look older.
Belting out a tune.
It was awful.
He probably made them put little miniature furniture out there so he looked like a regular, legitimate human.
He's looking around with that fat face. All lost on that big stage.
That's the name of his autobiography. Feet sticking straight out.
Oh, as I lay my fat head against this door.
They probably cremated him because they couldn't have, like, they didn't want to have a funeral with two pallbearers. Hook him up to a dog sled. Just pull this thing, would you?
Poor little guy. Why do you opt for the chest shot?
Oh, what a... Because that fucking fat head, the bullet would have just lodged a quarter-inch in and not budged.
He probably couldn't reach his head. Couldn't turn the gun around. Oh, use this thumb, that big fat thumb in there probably to turn the gun around. Oh, poor little Hervé.
Held it with both hands.
I got a post-it in my hand that I should have never read today.
What did it say?
It says, "Got to get Richard in."
Woof. Wow.
Who wrote that? Why, Hawk?
We had to get him in. He's scheduled.
Yeah.
Got to get Richard in. There it is. Put it up on eBay. See if they bid for it.
Well, here's a cute little story.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, couples online gaming causes infant's death. I can relate to this. This story's out of Incheon, South Korea. Couple was arrested last week when their 4-month-old daughter died after being left alone by the couple for hours. The mother and father reportedly had gone to a nearby internet cafe, lost themselves in playing Blizzard's massively multiplayer online PC game World of Warcraft, playing the WoW, and returned to their home only to find their infant dead from suffocation. Booked the pair on criminal charges, judging that when you consider the situation, they were responsible for their daughter's death. They told the police, "We were thinking we were just playing an hour or two and return home, but the game took longer." That's what it's like. You think you're on there for maybe 2 hours. You look at the clock. Oh, 8 hours have gone by, and the baby's dead. Jeez. Could always get a new baby. They're easy to make. But if you lose like a wizard robe or your epic weapon, you know how long you have to quest to get that? You can make a baby in 5 minutes. It's just a baby, for God's sake. You didn't even... How old was it?
4.
Yeah. You don't even... 4 months old.
Oh, 4 months
You didn't even get
old.
to know it by then. But if 4 months later, you'll be looking at your epic weapon going, this thing kicks ass. I'm pretty uber. I'm elite dude. Huh?
Should have just used macros. Then they wouldn't have had to leave the baby.
He's using technical jargon, Opie.
I really want to
Shut up.
I really want to attack that mustache with Nair and duct tape.
And the mic goes back off.
Did they find one of those mustache hairs in the Ramsey basement?
You're batting 1,000 on the mic today there, Kev.
Wow. Hey, Spin Magazine, really fast, picks the greatest albums of the last 20 years.
This will make me physically
Oh, no. Oh, you know why? I bet I know who doesn't make an appearance on it. Black Sabbath.
You know what? I get what these magazines are trying to do.
What?
They're trying to be hip and stuff.
Too cool for the room.
Yeah. But now they're going way the other way and just being way too cool for the room.
What magazine's this, sweetie?
Spin Magazine.
I love you.
Like, you don't even know.
Spin Magazine named Radiohead's OK Computer the top album of the past 20 years.
20 years?
Praising a futuristic sound that manages to feel alive even when its words are spoken by a robot.
20 years? Let me think.
Hey, I love Radiohead. Love Radiohead.
Well,
love that album,
85.
actually. Okay?
2000, yeah.
Well, but Anthony, here we go. Want to hear the top 10?
Is Nevermind in there?
Nirvana?
Nevermind isn't in the top 10.
No. Years earlier...
Stop it!
Years earlier, Spin ranked Nirvana's Nevermind the greatest album of the 90s. In the time since, however, editor-in-chief Sia Michal and others simply found they were reaching for OK Computer more than the slightly less relevant Nevermind. What? So they decided to, figure out what the top 20 albums of the last 20 years were.
They're
or
just
whatever,
so
top
cool
100, I
sitting
guess.
there. Look what I'm reaching for, man.
Awful. Spin magazine. Douchebags.
So, is it in the top 10?
No.
What?
No. Top 10 in order. I don't know if that means from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10.
Hey.
What happened?
They're holding up a sign there that says, Nevermind is number 2.
Oh. All right, hold on a minute. All right.
We can't even do a list. We can't even do a fucking list.
You guys realize you're listening to the worst radio show in America? We act like we know what we're doing.
How did we get a list wrong?
All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to count. All right. So Radiohead would be 1, because they said that. And then they say, also in the top 10 in order. So let me see if there's 9 here.
Wait, hold on.
All right.
Wait, hold on. You missed Kev?
Oh, wait, let Kev say it.
Go ahead.
What, Kev?
Is that Paul Simon's Nevermind?
So, Kev, more about Giant Magazine.
And the mic goes back off. Wow. All right. Well, okay. Jesus. All right, then let me count. Now we're looking for 9 others, right?
9.
All right. 1.
Yeah.
2.
For counting on the radio.
3.
Yeah.
4.
Huh?
5. 6.
Yeah.
7. I know that.
Yeah.
I only have 7 now.
So there's 3 missing? Did they do a little story telling what the top 3 are in the story and then do the rest?
Good question, Ed.
Like you said, they found they were
question.
choosing OK Computer over Nevermind, which would lead me to believe that Nevermind was second. Because if it's so close,
that
Nevermind is second, and then maybe they bring up who's third?
But apparently you had it listed in the top 45. Not even in the top 10.
Nevermind, what a piece of shit.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Nevermind, right under Rotgut's Live at the Apollo.
7, and then there's OK Computer, 8, and Nevermind, 9. We're still missing 1. Do you have the actual list, Ben?
No. Ben.
Whoa.
Wow,
that was creepy. Like that. Ooh, ominous.
All right, let me
What are you writing in that awful handwriting?
Look how big my cock is. Oh, Ben. Always
Bitch.
bragging.
Bink at the what?
Bark at the Moon. It's number 12, Jim.
Is it really? It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be?
No.
You don't think it was that good?
No, Blizzard of Oz is better. Dive Man was much better.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what?
All right.
You found it?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
It was only in the first paragraph of the article in front of me.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me start over. Spin Magazine named Radiohead's OK Computer the top album of the past 20 years. The British band's album edged out Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back and Nirvana's Nevermind on a list in Spin's 20th anniversary issue, currently on newsstands.
Mm-hmm.
So number 1, OK Computer. Number 2, Public Enemy. And Nirvana Nevermind.
Number 2, look,
well, they don't even say. So I would assume Nevermind and then Public Enemy's 3. Okay?
Right.
Why is that in the top 10 in the last 20 years? Public Enemy?
Public Enemy?
And not that it's a bad album, but why is that? They have one great song on that.
Because they're just, they're trying to be ultra hip here.
They're trying to be politically correct.
Also in the top 10. Here we go. This bit should have taken 2 minutes, not 20.
Mm-hmm.
I
think first of all, if you have an album that's supposed to be one of the greatest albums in the past 20 years, you should be able to look at it in any of those years and think, would it be relevant? Would you be able to listen to it? Is it like at that timeless quality where you could listen to it now, or even if you listened to it back in like 85, it would still be like, wow, that's pretty cool. So it doesn't date, you know what I mean? So Public Enemy, I think, wouldn't sound relevant
now.
Like now you listen to it and go, stop, it's kind of cute and quaint.
One of Eminem's albums I'd put up there. I'd put something by Eminem up there.
Yeah?
Yeah, last 20 years, absolutely.
Yeah, he's made kind of a splash.
I think back then his stuff would have been phenomenal, even by today's standards.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So then the top 10 in order, the rest of the top 10 in order are Pavements, Slanted, and Enchanted.
Yeah? What? What?
The Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
Oh, God, you're shitting me. 20 years.
Pixies, Surfer Rosa.
20 years, right?
Yeah. De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising.
Whoever wrote this should just be executed.
This is a pile of shit.
Spin Magazine.
I understand
blows.
the hipness of these bands, and I enjoy a song from the Smiths every once in a while, and I listen to the Pixies. But hello. Continuing, Anthony, Prince's Sign of the Times or Sign O' the Times. PJ Harvey's Rid of Me, and finally NWA's Straight Outta Compton. That is the...
Which I find very fun and entertaining to listen to, but...
That is the top 10 albums of the past 20 years, according to Spin Magazine.
They had to put 2 rap albums in there. They just had to.
Well, you have to. Yeah.
Not that rap is bad to have in there, but just the way the choice to Public Enemy is not the third best album.
No.
I'm lamping. I'm stone cold lamping. That
yeah.
song's on there.
Come on. I like that stuff. I like the old NWA. Ghetto Boys.
I just got a picture of one of those guys.
You did?
DJ Yella from NWA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
By the way, Anthony...
Who were you visiting when you were there?
By the way, Anthony, you asked a question earlier in the show.
I did?
Why is Terri Schiavo in the news again?
Yeah.
And they finally laid her to rest in the ground there.
Yeah.
The husband had a big say in this, obviously. And I guess on the tombstone or whatever, it says, I kept...
no? How do you spell it?
It says, I kept my promise. So the parents are pretty outraged by that and pissed off.
Oh, wait, the husband put a little note on there?
No, right on...
That's what I mean, on the tombstone?
I believe so, yes.
I kept my promise?
I kept my promise.
Don't keep your distance. Didn't a Vita joke. Shoot me.
That's a good one. Don't cry for me, Mr. and Mrs. Schiavo. I was tired of looking at this bitch's face.
All right, let's say hi to Mike on Long Island. Mike.
Hey, what's happening, boys?
Hey, Mike.
Shouldn't Metallica's Black Album be on this fucking list of Christ's
Dude,
sake?
absolutely.
Hey, there you go.
That's a phenomenal album.
Well, obviously, in general, because someone will say, no, dude, OK Computer sold a lot of copies. In general, they stayed away from commercially successful
Appetite for Destruction.
Dude, yeah.
Yep.
Just like Sabbath on there, Jimmy, I'm with you.
Well, Sabbath didn't do anything in the last 20 years that would be on that list. I mean, I don't think Sabbath. But I mean, how is
from Ozzy?
Yeah, but Ozzy, I think, Blizzard of Oz died mad.
Joshua Tree.
How is fucking Metallica's Black Album not on there? And how is Appetite for Destruction not on there?
And Joshua Tree, whether you like or hate you too, it's a phenomenal
It's
album.
all about the hip crack.
Yeah, they stink. They're just trying too hard. Are they in the top 20 Metallica or Appetite for Destruction?
What's that?
No.
I'm asking Opie if they're in
I
the
don't know.
top
I don't
20.
have the official list, so I don't have the list.
Hold on. Kev, what is this?
What is Kevin saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev. Big Kev.
I was showing Jim a picture of the Schiavo grave stone that was in the paper today.
What did it say on it?
I kept my promise. Fuck. And off goes the mic.
Good Lord.
Hold on. Yep. Now I'm looking at a picture of it.
Yeah. What does it say, Jimmy?
Schiavo. Wait, I kept my promise, but I couldn't read it if I didn't know what it said.
Yeah.
So it's just a small picture of the thing that he pointed out in the paper.
Now the parents got to go there and see his little note, his little quote every time they go to visit their daughter's grave. That is kind of
why did he do
self-serving?
That? Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, that is selfish.
Why do that? Stop.
You got rid of her. Fucking enough already. You got the tube yanked.
Just put a plaster cast of her snatch on there for the parents to look at.
Why didn't you just put not going anywhere for a while? Have a Snickers, you monotone dullard.
But you let him kill me. Parents just weeping.
If you loved me, you would have fought harder. You were supposed to protect me.
I loved you with all of my walnut brain. Oh, little squirrel digs a hole, runs off with her brain, starts nibbling on his hind legs, spinning it round and round in those little claws.
Oh, that fucking atrophied mess. Oh, God. Old fossil brains.
Oh, I like a brain you could skip across a pond.
Oh, my ribs.
Well, oh, there we go.
Chief in New York, he learned that Anthony almost had to play Texas Hold'em with Mookie Wilson on Father's Day instead of Sal.
What a thrill.
Doughboy from whackbag.com, I learned that toothpaste isn't a household remedy for not wiping well enough.
Is it true that you also put the day of her death as the day she collapsed, like before she was in a coma that long?
No.
No?
Kev?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Not even gonna look.
I kept my promise.
Let's say hi to Mike in Cleveland. Mike?
It should have said on her tombstone, Christ, you got ugly.
Holy shit. Mike.
Yeah, I got one more song for you guys to add to the Dinah Shore list.
The what list? Wait, the what list?
The celebrity songs.
Right. Wait. The Dinah Shore list.
Oh.
Isn't that how the entire bit started?
I don't think it started with the Dinah Shore, did it? Is that how we got from the song?
I'm not really sure.
Celebrity?
All right, tell us what it is, Mike.
Which one do you have?